My friends, hello and welcome to GoldenEye SpeedLore, the portal into the niche and esoteric world of GoldenEye speedrunning and the characters who have made the competition and community so fascinating over the years. All set through the lens of the world record progression on one of the game's stages. And tonight, for episode 31, we are diving, or maybe spelunking, into one of the most challenging, dangerous stages in the whole game. Caverns 00 Agent, with many a remarkable story to be told. New strategy discoveries, version differences that went unknown for years, and some truly amazing untied world records. So hang on to your hats, hope the radio room doesn't blow up, and here's the story of Caverns 00 Agent. And yes, Caverns is the second last level in the main playthrough of GoldenEye. Leading to Cradle's the 18th level, you got 2 bonus levels, Aztec and Egypt. Caverns is the 17th. You're pursuing Trevelyan through a cave up into the Cradle, right? You have these 5 epic objectives, and it's a level that's not in the movie, which is kind of cool. So yeah, there's a few of them that are just kind of made up for the game, and this is one of them. Objectives. 5 objectives, which is pretty insane. If you remember on Agent, the only objective is minimize scientist casualties, so it's a run to the end. And now we have the opposite, which is do everything. Destroy inlet pump controls, destroy outlet pump controls, destroy master control console, use radio to contact Jack Wade, minimize scientist casualties. Let's take a look and see how it pans out. This, of course, is our good friend Madman Fletcher. Let's watch his run. This is a very long run, and the target time on this mission is 9 minutes and 30 seconds for the double RCP90 cheat. And it may not sound like very fast, but if you're playing the game for the first time in your life, it is one of the hardest cheats in the entire game to unlock, because just beating it at all is super duper hard. And then, you can take 20 or 30 minutes beating it, in 9.5 with some speed and knowledge is hard. Jack Wade is, if you know the newer Bond films, he has a buddy Felix. He's kind of like this ally who, he's sort of like a secret agent, but he's kind of maybe more, he's kind of like a half office guy, half secret agent. And that's Jack Wade's very similar. If you watch the movie, he's a minor side figure. This scientist looks like he might pass away, which is risky. 2 scientists can pass away. Okay, he didn't pass away, luckily. They can be pretty troll. The scientists can be pretty troll. Objective A completed. See, that one scientist almost passed away in the flames. He almost ran into the flames and met his earthly maker. And you can get trolled like that very easily on a level like Caverns 00. Now, what's good news for Fletcher here is that there are only 2 scientists left in the stage. So both of them could pass away, take a dirt nap, as some would say, and that would be fine. You would complete the objectives. So, yes, here we're running up the spiral, shooting a few more guards. And he's taking some damage. This is bad, taking some damage. But he's got an AR-33. Ooh, oh man, this is getting tough. Okay, here we go. There are lots of guards, and you only have 8 bars of health, and there is no body armor, unfortunately. NTSC and POW, English, no body armor. No body armor to be found. And so, this is a super hard level to survive. You can take 7 shots of ZMGs, or like 6 shots of AR-33, and then guards later on have RCP-90s and shotguns. And there's drones, which do 2 bars of damage. And it's there's a lot to consider. And there are also many routes to go through on this level. So Fletcher's gonna blow up these boxes, which is good. Now, that set of lockers up there, you can destroy them and go through them. It's a pretty decent little short... I wouldn't even say a shortcut, it's just another path you can take on the mission. And we may see someone take that path later on. But Fletcher will opt to not take that path. He just blew up the boxes to get a whole bunch of ammo, which is a wise decision. Oh man, see, you can tell he's newer to the game. He kind of reloaded, putting himself at risk of taking damage, and he did. He's gonna aim in here for this console. So you can basically see these objectives A, B, and C. They're these computer consoles, pump controls that you have to blow up. And objective A had 3, B has 3, C only has 1. But C is fussy because it's in the radio room with the radio, objective D, which you need to contact Jack Wade with. So you have to complete objective D before C, generally speaking. Otherwise, C will blow up the radio that is next to it. You'll see there's a whole bunch of oil tanks in between the radio and the pump computer, which doesn't seem very wise. I don't know why the guards decided, you know what, let's put our highly valuable pump controls beside these oil tanks. You can see there's objective B completed. He just picked up a code card. There's 3 big blast doors, like those big brown blast doors. There's 3 code cards as well. One of each opens the doors. That one you just saw does not get opened with the card that he opened. So he's gonna have to go around the long way. And if you look in your pause menu, I don't think we will see Fletcher pause here, but the cards are labeled like card 1, 2, 3 or ABC. So he's got to go around this way. That guard outside of this room will also have a code card. Okay, nice shot, nice headshot. Ooh, and a lot of the guards have body armor. Like, this is a very, very tough stage, and that's why Fletcher's taking his time with it. And ooh, when I first saw that, I was like, man, he almost got hit there. He almost got hit there. It would have been insane. Well, the guards don't react to their friends. Oh, that guard has a code card as well. Ooh, that almost took some damage. Now, you're going to see something a little bit intense here. So he goes over here. Guards will start coming out of the radio room there with the yellow tape, and they'll start pulling grenades. See, pulling a grenade. He's going to throw it. Okay, this is bad news. A lot of stuff blew up. He took some damage. This is bad. He can't see anything. This is really bad. The radio room is an inch away from blowing up. He could fail. This could all be a waste. And we have to see this play out once again. Okay, the scientists are leaving. He didn't even need them to leave, but they left, which is good. He has to run in and press B at that radio. Will it blow up? It may blow up. It may blow up. And his time, you're right, his time's ticking away. Okay, he eliminated all the guards. There's the B at the radio. The radio's complete. He's shooting all the stuff out. Objective C completed. Great. Now, in that box, there's actually a double AR-33. There's like a whole bunch of boxes in each other, like a Russian doll. And you can get double AR-33s. I thought he was going to go for it, but he didn't in the end. It's not necessary at all. Oh, he almost got hit again. And now here's the thing. As soon as Trevelyan sees him at the end of this tunnel, which is going to happen, guards will start spawning from behind with RCP-90s and shotguns. And that's terrifying. If you've played this level growing up, this is like the scariest. Your heart is racing 1,000 miles a minute right now. It's very, very frightening. Let's see what he's got. They're slow yet again, James. Shooting up. Oh my goodness, shooting. Oh, is he going to take damage? No, there's guards from behind. He only has 1.5 bars left. Is he going to make it? They're shooting from behind. RCP 90s. Lots of guards in here. Oh my goodness, he missed a guard. Oh, it's insane. Oh my goodness. Caverns, 00 Agent, 752. Unbelievable. Unbelievable run. Truly remarkable. The comment on this run was that heart is still pounding after this one. Wow. I mean, that shows you. You know, you're a new player coming along, and it's a heart pounder. It's tough. It's tough. Yes. Well, this is, like, honestly, it's probably a toss-up. What's the hardest level to live between this and Aztec 00 Agent? So, yeah, it's one of them. But hey, look, we got... Fletcher's motto at the time was, gotta start somewhere. You know, he actually has this really cool beginner's guide to speedrunning GoldenEye, and I told him I would mention this in the lore episode, and I'll mention again later on his channel. Comprehensive guide to speedrunning GoldenEye. He has all these parts telling you how to do it, and yeah, his motto was "Gotta start somewhere," and so does this lore. So does this speed lore. So let's start somewhere. And luckily, one of the first... We don't have the very first ever world record claim video. It is a 4:48 by Steven Jwortes. No video, sadly. Sterling Neblet also claimed a time 3:28. We don't have that. But we do have this one by Mike Martin. Let's watch this. Mike Martin, Caverns 00 Agent. And we'll see how far he improves the world record. And so you can see he is just going to run for it, which is pretty risky. You know, I actually haven't watched this run, so I'm curious to see how it plays out. Wow, he's already down to 5 bars. He's throwing 1 mana each computer. Will the scientists live? It sounds like maybe one scientist passed away, but it might have been a guard. Yeah, he was an early champion of the game, Flicker. He was one of the. What was he a champion? You know, I always forget. I know Sterling and then Wouter, but Mike Martin was certainly a top player at the time in the late 90s, and he's one of the guys who I don't think he's resurfaced. A lot of the old champions have resurfaced, at least peered in, but Mike Martin, as far as I know, no. And yeah, so he was an early champion. Let's see what he goes downstairs. This is cool. This is interesting. He's going to shoot out the beautiful lockers. There he goes. Oh, he's commented on lores. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, come to think of it, it sounds familiar now. Oh, he's gonna blow up the boxes. Beautiful. He's eliminating some guards. He's gonna throw another mine so no one can come from behind. He's gonna have no surprises. He got a code card, which is nice. Objective to be completed. Oh, some guards have left the earth in the fire. Great. Oh, man, this is getting intense. Lots of guards around. Lots of shots. Yeah, this was done on November 1st, 1999, by the way. So, shoutouts to Mike Martin if he does see this. It'd be pretty epic. I mean, this is one of those runs where if you had the internet in 99 and had videos, you know, a computer that could play videos, which is pretty rare, this would probably blow your mind. You'd be like, holy... Oh, he's gonna run in! Oh my god. He ran in, pressed B on the radio, and chucked a mine. That was actually insane. I'm stunned. That was such an insane YOLO radio room. Yet, like, listen how crisp the audio is. This run is, like, magnificent. This run is, like... This is an amazing run. Beautiful shots. Beautiful shots. He's gonna hit the other drone. Beautiful. Now he's gonna run in. The guard reload smart. There might be guys behind him. I think he might have closed. He closed the doors behind him. That would have been intelligent. I think he did. And he's gonna run in, open the. Oh, he's in. Beautiful, beautiful. And this is a Caverns 00305. Amazing, amazing. Oh yeah, JD Black. I saw that. I saw that comment. Is it on this video? Oh, this is beautiful. 23-second untied when set. That's pretty good. Oh, this must be him. That stick was super loose. So I did that, pull the stick back on startup to make it so you could go forward all the time. Cruise control. Didn't play Mario Party. Oh yeah, this is a response to Alex's comment. Looks like 1.1 after Mario Party destroyed a controller. And YouTube comments from that long ago, they don't have like a reply chain. They're all like messed up. So yeah, great run by Mike Martin. Legendary. Absolutely legendary. And he would even improve this to 301 a couple weeks later, though we don't have video footage of that. Yeah, there's some interesting runs coming up. You know what? Let's see if we can pan this in here. You know, let's see what we can do. I'll show Joris his screenshot of the next handful of runs because it is interesting. So this is the world record progression following this Mike Martin 305. You know, we can see that Joris would claim a 255 with no video, which would become the longest standing untied. It would be untied for almost a year, a full year and 2 days. Carl would tie 255. Tim Grenby claimed a 201. And unfortunately, these don't have videos, but that's okay because we have so many videos to show. We're going to show the very next one, which is a 245 by Carl Jost from May 2001. Let's take a look. This one says Caverns Double Agent 245 fixed in brackets. And I mean, yeah, look, this is much yeah. I mean, I don't know what Mike Martin did. His quality was insane. It looks like these guys are kind of turning back, shooting that scientist away. The quality got worse in the following 2 years. In the following 2 years, quality. I mean, you wonder how Mike Martin did it. He was some kind of tech savant, maybe. But Carl's going to roll up the spiral here. I think I'm going to scroll ahead past the spiral because, you know, there's so many runs that we will, you know, saving 20 seconds of the spiral will play out for us, which is good. Oh, that's crazy, Alchemaz. That's funny. I wonder how that happened. So there's Carl getting a hit. So we can see Carl now is going upstairs. Instead of taking the downstairs route, the Mike Martin route, Carl is now going downstairs. This is honestly not that dissimilar from strategies you might see today, which is kind of cool. He's running up here. Okay, now he's going to go out this door. So now the ending will probably be similar to Mike Martin's run. But, yeah, we can see he saved time from a quicker Objective B area. I wonder why that is, eh? It's kind of crazy. He's pretty low health. He's luring a lot of guards. Probably 2 or 3 guards in that pile up there. Dude, that's so funny, Herpaturp. I wonder why that happened. It's crazy how, like, data can rot away like that. Okay, there's a guard with pulling a grenade. This is very risky. He's YOLOing this. He's gonna... Oh my god, he didn't get shot. Incredible. Objective B complete. Objective D completed. Did C complete yet, or is he gonna have to spin around and shoot it out? I'm not sure C completed. Oh, he's just gonna shoot it from here while he's waiting for that big door to open. That's cool. That's cool. Nice shots, and now again you have to. Oh, so he's gonna close that door behind him, which does work a little bit, but if you're a bit slow, I mean that's like staring death in the face, shooting those drone guns out. The guards with the RCP-90s and shotguns will come from behind and open that door very quickly, so you got to be quick here. The pixels are fading away. And there we got a 245 by Carl. Great run. You can't really see that's 245, but it apparently is, so great stuff. 2 days later, Carl would get 234. There is a video, but I mean, I can only show so many of these from early on. There was also this legendary figure. I actually don't know much about this gentleman. Steve Foy got a 225 untied world record when set. You know, the legendary text. Anytime you see this untied world record when set, that means it's a legendary run. And yeah, his username was XX Darklight XX. Pretty good, pretty edgy username for back in 2001. So pretty good stuff. And improvements would follow. And here's Carl Jost back at it with an even better untied. Let's see what he's got. Oh, and looks like the video quality has improved here. So 225 by Steve Foy was the record. Let's see. I mean, this is going to be significantly faster than the last Carl run we showed. So let's see what he does to make it faster. I think I might have an idea, but I'm going to see if it ends up happening. XX in that context might mean straight edge. It might, right? I mean, we all remember, when Phil DeFranco was SXE Phil, right? That was straight edge. So there's lots of different monikers for straight edge, but yeah, I don't know exactly. I wonder if anyone has the Twitter handle XX Darklight XX. Probably someone does, but who knows? Certainly, if they didn't, someone may have sniped it now. Yeah, well, and they made a Vin Diesel movie about it, Spec, right? Is that right? So, okay, here we go. Well, the funny thing, JD Black, is that one of the top GoldenEye players, by the name of Wouter Janssen, is literally Shadow Walker backwards. So I think he's just saving some time. It looks like B was slightly faster, the B area, but I don't know. I don't think he's saved. Oh, and look how low health he is. How's he going to survive this run? It may have been the joke, Moldy, but it might not have been the joke. It's hard to know. It's hard to know. Is he just going to YOLO this? I think he's just going to... Oh my god, how is this? Dude, this is the maddest thing I've seen in my entire life. I cannot believe that... Oh, and now... Okay, so now, as a result of being fast there, he's now beaten Trevelyan to this point. So these doors are open. That was a big time save. What ends up happening in most of the runs we've seen was that you'd spend too much time in the Objective B and Objective C area so that Trevelyan would get ahead of you, close the blast doors, and you have to open them. That loses lots of time. On this run, it's a 2:14, by the way. 2:14. Because he was fast enough at B and the radio room, C and D, he was able to get ahead of Trevelyan at the end, and yeah, that obviously saved a good deal of time. So really great stuff by Carl from May 2001. I would be curious to know if Steve Foy did that on his 225, and he may have, but maybe in some old forum post somewhere, someone might dig it up for the comments, but yeah, I mean, so now the cat's out of the bag. We can get ahead of Trevelyan at the ending, so people are going to play on. And Wouter Janssen was one of those gamers. This video is uploaded in 2012. It somehow has the From Russia with Love theme in it. Oh, that was a faster Objective A area. He's trying to lure those two scientists out of the way. I think he's going to let that first one pass away and hope that one of the radio room scientists will survive. I think that's his hope here. So yeah, okay. Well, we're going to up the ramp, up the spiral. We'll skip ahead 5 seconds. No, yeah, Mike Martin's 999 run is still the best quality. It may be the best quality run for its time in GoldenEye history. Okay, so Wouter's... This is beautiful strafing from Wouter coming along here. Let's see what he does here. Runs down with the AR-33, blasts these guys in the face, shoots out the things, chucks a mine there. Probably, you know what, Wouter in a couple years probably has some decent quality, but it might be a tough call. It might be close. It might be close. And I mean, we can see kind of how the strategy of Caverns 00 is evolving at this point. You kind of run ahead of Trevelyan, complete objective A, hope the scientists don't pass away. You come through the catwalk after B, run into the radio room, hope you can press B at the radio before everything blows up, and then run to the end and hope you survive. And I should point out that you survive well less than 1% of the runs on this level. Oh, he's right. This is actually useful. He's right behind Trev. Is it useful or not? I was going to think Trev might block the drone shots, but I guess not. When he kind of missed going into the door there. And this is a 208. I don't know if we're going to see it up in person. Yeah, looks like a 208 to me. Oh, and the screen's frozen at 208. Cool. Nice run by Wouter Janssen. Is his first Untied on the stage? Yes, his first Untied on the stage. A very nice run. It would remain untied for half a year or so. And then Tim Grenby claimed a 207. Unfortunately, no video. The next run we have, though, is actually another iconic run from another early character. Like Mike Martin, ancient legend of the game that, is really from the days gone by. Guys like Wouter and Carl, they're still around, right? So that's one thing. It's cool to see the runs, but that's one thing. But this guy, David Gibbons, also known as Marshmallow, very, very, very old school player. He had one of the earliest full game runs, beating the game on Double Agent in like 50 minutes. And I think that was on SDA until Wouter beat it, like in the 03, 04, 05 era. So Gibbons was one of the game's earliest legends, and this Caverns 00 time was also one of his legendary runs. It says that it has commentary. I haven't listened to it the whole way through. I hope there's nothing too insane in here, but let's enjoy and listen to what David Gibbons has in store for us from March 18th, 2002.
This level, after hundreds of hours of playing, it seems, my sanity's just gone. I'm so sorry. I should stop talking. Well, crazy shit going down here. I missed him. How'd that be possible? No comment. No comment. Just look at its awe and beauty. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, baby.
Well, that run is definitely an iconic piece of GoldenEye history. Definitely apologies to all the Twitch viewers who were blasted with that sound. It sounded like it did sound like an AIM offline door sound. You know, it's one of those things. Every young video editor has issues with the audio, you know, the voice and music balance when they're starting out. I can't blame David Gibbons' Marshmallow for that 20 years ago, but hey, that's the issue, is that you can't hear his commentary because it's so quiet in the mix of the video game music. So it's hard to know what to play and so on. But there's his commentary, pretty funny stuff, pretty amazing record. Yeah, it's Star Wolf from Star Fox 64. And a great run, right? Basically the same strategy. I'm going to let the next run play out while we... that's a great run by Marshmallow. And they're all using the same strategy now. We'll see. Maybe a breakthrough is around the corner. But, yeah, that's just it. The level is like a 1% chance of survival or less. And that's what makes any completion so insane. And especially you have like 3 bars left, and you run towards the ending, and it's like very, very frightening. It's a scary thing to do. To have a world record pace run, untitled record pace run, and YOLO the ending. These guys didn't know that their runs would go down in history. And there was a good comment in chat. Imagine making a GoldenEye video in the year 2002 that would come to troll people 20 years later because of the super loud MIDI audio. And that's maybe not what Gibbons set out to do with that run, but he sure did. So he can be proud of that and his 204, his historic run. This run now is Wouter Janssen improving it a year later. In fact, Gibbons, allegedly, Grenby would claim he beat Gibbons' 204 with a 202, and that 202 was untied for a year, from March 2002. This run's now April 03, and it's by Wouter, or as Gibbons would say, Wouter. And so I kind of feel bad for Gibbons because that run was legendary. It was a cool video. It deserved to be untied for a year, but that's the way things were back then. And Grenby's credited with the record for the 202 on this level. I don't want to speak lowly of Grenby. I mean, he corrected me a while ago when I said he didn't have too many videos, but we have shown some in the lore. And so, hey, that's how the history goes over time. And we can see here Wouter, oh man, how did he survive this, right? This is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Wouter survived the half a bar. Any hit and he would have passed away there. Any possible hit. He gets hit there. Now, if a drone or any guard hits him, he'll pass away and lose the run. And maybe he lost 100 runs exactly like that over the years leading up to this run. But he didn't. He clutched it. 2 minutes. Great speedrun by Wouter Janssen, April 3. He finally beat the time of Grenby set a year earlier. And I'm sure Grenby would have loved to have captured the run at the time for historical purposes. But back then, hey, if it wasn't needed, if you didn't need a video to claim an untied, you can't blame anyone for not having made a video. It's all gravy at this point. It's all bonus at this point. And so here we are, half an hour into the lore, and we're at Wouter's 2003 untieds. And often this is where we start lore, basically. We kind of wash the past stuff away, or just kind of glance over it. Well, we couldn't do that because these strategies develop and develop and develop. And next we'll see a few months later in September 03, Graham Morris. Ooh, this is some nice quality. Morris was a British speedrunner. He played on the PAL console, and he made it up to 3rd place in GoldenEye, which was really good because on most levels, NTSC is a little advantaged. On Caverns Double Agent, though, people a long time said PAL was advantaged. For some reason, it seems like guards were a little bit more forgiving on PAL. Maybe because they have fewer frames in which they can hit you. You know, it might be something like that, where you know, over thousands of runs of Caverns 00, you'll be more likely to survive on PAL. And so, yeah, PAL was viewed as better than, you know, NTSC at this time, and would be going ahead. I think Graham Morris's username in Perfect Dark, I just want to verify this. Yeah, it was just straight up Psycho. His username was, I mean, that's a classic early 2000s name as well, right? Like, oh, what's a cool username I can make? What's a cool, like, alias? Psycho. Yeah, that's it. And hey, this run was pretty psycho. I mean, this is a even better run than Wouter's 2-minute run. And it's gonna get even crazier very, very soon. Open the door. This, again, I think Carl's run was the first one we saw where he did that. 2 bars of health. I mean, on English, you're not gonna live 2 bars. I mean, we'll see. I guess we'll see. Ghost health. There's 5 or 6 guards here. Any of them could have hit him, and he's in. Unbelievable. Graham Morris. 159. A beautiful and remarkable speedrun. Really great stuff. 159. I bet you that was a ton that held up for a very long time. But Graham Morris wasn't done there. No, he wasn't. A few days later, he would get one of the most legendary untied records in the game's history, and still may be. You know, in '99, before the game was optimized at all, people could get 10-second untieds. People get, you know, we watched one earlier, right? It was 23-second untied. The Mike Martin run was 23-second untied. Right? That was, like, possible back then. But getting these massive untied cuts became less and less likely as the game got more and more optimized. But 1 week later, after untying with 159, Graham Morris would go and get this run, one of the most unbelievable runs in GoldenEye history. Watch and be blown away. Throwing 1 mine, 2 mines. Interesting, that's an interesting mine strategy for Objective A there. But it completed. It worked out for him. This is September 29, 2003, which, if memory serves me right, is very close to Boss's Dam 53. 2 days, oh, a year and 2 days. I just remembered late September. A year and 2 days later. So, I mean, think about it. Dam 53's happened. Pretty insane. That's a great question, Moxie. That's a great question. Okay, can we guess what Graham Morris is going to do differently? Let's take a look. Chucks a mine. Comes down here. Shoots out Objective B. There's 2 consoles in the middle. This one on the left, and this one on the right. Oh, he has to reload even. Insane. Chuck. Open. See, he's gone. Instead of going around the catwalk, he's going straight through like an absolute madman. He's beat Trevelyan to the punch. The code card from the Objective B guard opens that 1 blast door. It's the only one currently closed. And he somehow survives and runs. And now he's going to run to the end. 1 hit. He has 2.5 bars of health. He's in easily, healthily. Unbelievable. And it is 148. An 11-second untied over his previous cut, and a 12-second untied over second place Wouter's 2-minute run. This is what we would call a truly and utterly remarkable speedrun. That is for sure. You know, it might be one of the biggest, depending on where you want to define histories of GoldenEye, it's probably the last time anyone will ever get a more than 10-second untied, barring some insane skip on like control or something, I don't even think Aztec had a 10-second untied when the new strategies were discovered there, and that kind of shows you, like, this was a full year after the Aztec strategy was discovered. So, yeah, no, I know it was even too remarkable to be dedicated to a champion, Sammy. Could it be the biggest bop on Wouter ever? Well, I mean, the thing is, Wouter is like 12 seconds off world record nowadays, or more. So, like, depends how you want to define all these criteria. But it was an 11-second cut. Actually, I'll be able to see on the time cutters page when the last like 11-second record was. So in 04, the biggest cut was 3 seconds. In 05, 3 seconds. In 03, that 11-second cut by Graham Morris. And Wouter had cut 11 seconds on Aztec 00 that year as well. He did it the year before as well, another 11-second cut. He had a 12-second cut on Silo 00. But yeah, this Graham Morris run was indeed the last 10-second cut ever in the game's history. And that's pretty cool unto itself, I would say. Man, there's another big cut coming up in this lore even, so keep your hats buckled on if you can. Man, I'm looking through the list and seeing all these like 3-4 second cuts. They're pretty far and few between, but yeah. I mean, I don't even man, we might even see. Wow. Okay, there's some crazy stuff coming up, folks. Oh, cool. That's awesome, Kinder Jason. Let's see. Let's read Steve Foy's post. Why not? Stupid BS. I was just about done typing it when I got signed off. I'll just skip to where it gets different from Carl's 234. Then that'll be all. Do everything like in Carl's 234 to get to the outlet control room. As soon as you enter the room, toss the mine to the left near the drone. Yep. I mean, which one's outlet control? That's the funny thing, right? It's like, it's that objective B or C. Probably B because it's a drone gun. I mean, he's just going to basically tell his strategy. That's it. Like, this is the thing, right? Steve Foy didn't need a video because his description of his strategy was enough to suggest that he got the time. And that's the way things were back then, so... Yeah, thanks for digging that post up. That's pretty cool. Cheers, Kinder. Alright. Next up, well, as insane as Graham Morris's run was, he had a video, the strategy was known, and so the game's legend at the time, Wouter Janssen, could now try it himself. And I think on the 148... we saw Graham Morris he had to reload at objective B, so that was a bit of a time loss. Okay, that was a bit of a time loss for Wouter, but not quite as much. And yeah, this is very aggressive right ear audio. And I just expect we'll see a cleaner run from Wouter. I expect that we won't see... we'll see a cleaner objective B area, that's my guess for sure. Oh, a bad back boost. And again, you would have to... I mean, from my experience playing back in this era, you would complete less than 1% of the runs. Because there's so many guards who are all shooting you. So there's 30 bullets in his clip. People get mad when I call it a clip, I know, I get it. Okay, chucked a mine there instead. You know, I'm trying to use the least offensive terms for YouTube, you know, you get it. That's why I call... He's got shots in the clip, you know. Okay, ooh, he runs back and shoots at some guards. He chucks some mines there. Oh, ooh! So that was super lucky in that it blew up before he could press B at the radio, but the radio didn't blow up immediately. And thus, he was able to complete the radio before everything blew up, and he completed the run. And he didn't even get hit from, like, B onwards. That was insane, eh? 144, a 4-second untied. Magazine. Okay, magazine. We'll do it, magazine. Okay. He has 6 bars. Where does he get hit next? He, like, doesn't get hit for 8. It's, like, actually insane. And so, if you know your runners at a very deep level, you might know that all of these recent runners were European, and so they've all been played on PAL. That was the first... Wow, that was the... He didn't get hit from the top of the spiral to the radio room. That is madness. That is madness. And then he comfortably lives despite getting hit a whole bunch of times. Wow. Yeah, and so like the theory is basically NTSC runs at 30 frames per second, PAL runs at 25 frames per second, and I guess a guard shooting you takes, like, let's say a guard shoots you for 1 full second, there are fewer frames in that second to get hit with on PAL than NTSC. And that's the theory behind why it's easier to survive on PAL, on these hard-to-live, laggy levels. Like, same as Aztec 00, Jungle 00, Train 00, they were all considered easier to survive on PAL. And Jungle and Train, yeah, all of them were considered better on PAL, so... Wouter would keep playing, however, and only 5 days after this run, he got this run. A run that would go on to become the longest standing untied in the history of the game. A remarkable run, so much so, it can only be dedicated to our SpeedLore champion, Corey Meyer. Thank you for supporting SpeedLore on Patreon, Corey, and being such a loyal supporter. Enjoy this incredible speedrun by Wouter Janssen from October 2003. And, I mean, this is good quality. The videos really, you know, audio and videos, good stuff. Nice mine. Only one mine, which is really, really big. If you throw that one mine in between those two consoles right in the middle, you only need to throw one. If it's a bit off-center, then you have to throw a second one at the top of the stairs to complete Objective A. Obviously, the more mines you have for later, the better, and we'll see what he uses for them. I mean, now we can start to getting into exactly what's going on, exactly the technique. This was the iconic run that was, probably still is, listed on the SDA list of single-level runs in GoldenEye. It's like the first run I saw in Caverns Double Agent. So here we go. Throw a mine there. Take out all of these guards. Nice shot. Nice shot. Quick shot. Now he has 3 mines. He can throw these 3 mines on these walls, which can deter the guards from harassing him as he goes to the radio room. Something that happens a lot is you'll run into the radio room here, and the guards will shoot you from behind and blow everything up before you can complete Objective D. That happens all the time. All the time. Probably 50% of the time. If you have 3 mines to spare, it can help you avoid that. I'm only has 5 bars of health. 4 bars of health. Wow. Caverns Double Agent 142. Caverns Double 142. Unbelievable speedrun. one of the best the best we've seen tonight in terms of speed. One of the best in terms of quality. I just want to see Mike Martin's again, because, like, the quality was so good on Mike Martin's that it may have been, like, as good as that Wouter one. It's pretty close. Pretty close. How can it get faster? That's a great question. I mean, yeah, this time stands up really well to this date as well. You know, a lot of Wouter's times have, like, really begun to degrade badly, but this one is not one of them. Amazing record by Wouter Janssen, and yes, that was, remember, October 03. By August 06, it's still untied. That's how good of a run it is. I'm gonna see. Let's see if we can point a couple other things on this run that were important. So, so remember we saw a bunch of guys, like, they would stand here and shoot at that scientist to hope to lure him away, because you don't want him to blow up. You know, you're kind of assuming the 2 guards in the radio room are gonna pass away. So you need all 3 to survive down here. So Wouter, instead of shooting at the guy from far away, he maintains full speed and throws a mine. And that usually, bumping into the guard there, usually gets him to run away, which is good. And then those shots with this NMG get these guards. You can see the scientist on the left is already running away. That mine went right into the middle there. Beautiful. And those guards hopefully run away as well. That's good stuff. Then he gets up here. I remember, see, on NTSC, this guard would have back boosted you in this scenario. But, like, he misses the frame to back boost you on PAL, which is a big deal. Nice shot. Like, this is a really, I mean, this is so smooth for 2003. It's beautiful. And, oh yeah, that was sort of the ticket. If you could turn to go back up the stairs, and you could still see the explosion at the top of the stairs, that meant you had a really fast Objective B area, for those standards at the time. You'd run in this room, you'd throw a mine, and if you could get back up the stairs and still see the fire, you had a very clean Objective B area. And, he did in less than 30 bullets as well. He did in, like, 20 bullets. Very, very impressive by Wouter. Then he had to throw these 3 mines, eliminate a lot of guards who could do damage to him and blow up the radio room. Again, which happens like 50% of your runs. And we will see some failed runs later. He takes out the RCP-90 guard, gets out there perfectly. Wow, beautiful. And what's crazy is, like, yeah, if... Usually, the radio room would blow up about now. Usually. And it didn't. So he had to turn around and strafe backwards and shoot it out himself, which is, like, that was pretty badass to make that shot in that clutch moment. But it also loses probably a second, maybe 2. So maybe 140 is possible, and certainly 141. So, like, that shows you how good Wouter's run is at the time. Unbelievable. One of the most beautiful speedruns ever achieved in the history of GoldenEye, I would say. Okay, that might be... I mean, no, it was the longest standing untied ever, which is a big deal. We're I zipped ahead 3 years later, it's still untied. So, yeah. Amazing run. It was the second untied in the game's history to be untied for over 1,000 days. The first one was Wouter's own Bunker 1 Agent 17. So yeah, the second ever untied to last over 1,000 days. That's a big deal. Big deal, Wouter Janssen. How many LSUs does Caverns 00 have? I counted, like, at least 2 or 3, maybe 4. We can maybe investigate further at the end. Okay. Well, who would go on to slay the dragon and tie Wouter's masterful time? I'm not going to tell you yet. I'm going to show this amazing run by a runner named Greggs. Greggs was an interesting fellow. When he first joined the community, even in 2006, he was still like over 30 years old, which was old for back then. I mean, now, you know, I'm 30, I'm practically a boomer now, you know, so, but, you know, we were mostly 16, 17, even like Boss was only 22, 21, you know, like, so Greg's being 30 is like super, he's old, he's old. And so, you know, he didn't always gel great. I mean, I certainly gave him a lot of hell. I trolled him a lot back in the day. I do feel bad about it. Sorry, Greg's, if you're watching. I hope you're doing well. But Greg's would do these funny things in his runs. And he certainly wasn't one of the most... He wasn't a top 5 skilled player ever. He wasn't. But yeah, I mean, I definitely would have talked about him more in the Surface 2 Agent SpeedLore, because he actually got untied on the stage. So, like, he had these moments of, like, brilliance and genius. And this is sort of one of them. You know, Wouter has 142. Boss had 143, which was pretty good. But he couldn't quite get the 142. You know, I think guys like maybe Trent and Jimbo had like 148, 155. So anything sub 2 was like a really good top 10 time on the stage. You know, for a long time, Morris's 148 was third place. I think it went like Wouter 142, Boss 143, Morris 148, and then a few guys like 148 to 2 minutes. So any run, look, most people who are 50th place in GoldenEye at the time are doing the old Steve Foy strategy, the old Mike Martin strategy. You know, getting their 230, getting their 3 minutes, and being happy with 50 points or 40 points. But Greg's wanted to be a guy... Basically, the measure was, if you can get a run where you do it like Wouter's strategy, like the Graham Morris 148 run, where you go down here for B, you run into the radio room, you hit the radio, you come out and you're still ahead of Trevelyan. You know, so you don't go around the catwalk, you don't have to open the doors, the blast doors against Trev. If you can get that done, that's a good run. And Greg's wanted that run. Look, he had to wait around to get the key. He really spent like a good 15 seconds down here, you know, getting rid of guards. Okay, he comes in here. Now it's going to be epic coming up. It's going to be epic. Okay, so Greg's he lost full speed intentionally. I mean, we didn't really know about full speed. Runs in, hits the radio. A nade went off, blows up the radio room. Okay, now Greg's here. Okay. So we could just see Greg's had 5 bars of health. But when you're in the heat of the gaming moment, sometimes you forget how much health you have. Like, you think, do I have enough health to survive the ending? If you have 1 bar, you're not going to try to risk it for the biscuit. You know, you're not going to try to run through the drones. The drones do 2 bars of health each. So if you have 1 bar, you got to stop and shoot at the drones. But if you have 5 or 6 bars, you might think, you know what, I'm going to risk it for the biscuit instead. I'm going to go and run through the drones and get a really good run. Well, Greg's wasn't sure how much health he had left. So what do we think he did? Well, I guess we will. I guess we'll see. Oh, this is great. Oh, this is beautiful. I was able to dig up the rankings from around this time. Okay, let's proceed with the run. Yes, Greg's pauses, checks his health, sees that he has 5 bars of health, and he knows well enough here to like gain full speed before going into the drones. He gets 2 back boosts, 1 bar of health left. He still almost passes away. He's in there. Caverns 00211. Unbelievable. What a run. And yeah, this. Okay, so I can show you guys a screenshot from June '06, a little bit before he got this run, but it should do the trick to kind of illustrate that this was a good call for him. You know, like, why not go for the 211? So here's Caverns 00. Let's see what we can do here. So Wouter has the 142, Boss 143, Ilu, Graham Morris, and then you see a bunch of lads coming in with barely sub 2, you know. It's tough out there. It's tough. And, like, he got a 211 for 77 points, which was pretty good for him at the time, you know. So, that was... I don't want to say we bullied him, but, like, we made fun of his choice to pause there. Others did more than me. I didn't mind. I thought it was kind of cool, right? But, like, yeah, it's like, dude, why did you pause and lose 5 seconds? What have you thought? But he justified it by saying, like, straight up, like, I wouldn't have run it if I was going to pass away. And so I ran it. You know, I lost... Look, and like, this is, like, look at the logic. Yeah, he beat Carl's run. Like, if he didn't pause and ran through, he would have got 206, worth 78 points. You know, pausing wastes 5 seconds. But because he paused, he got 211, worth 77 points. So it's like, what, 1 point of a difference? Big deal. It was worth it, and a beautiful run, and a funny run, and we get to watch it and enjoy it all these years later. So there you go. Great stuff from Greg's. I mean, yeah, there are names that I see on that I don't even recognize sometimes, so hey. Alright. So Wouter's 142 is still untied. Who is going to come along and slay the dragon? Well, in August 2006, we saw an absolute mad lad. I mean, earlier in the year as well. On Train and Aztec and Dam and so on. But yes, our friend Allari Pecola went and got the Caverns 00 142, and we're gonna watch the run. He would later use footage of this run in one of his Aztec videos. That's why I thought this might be an Alou special. But it kind of shows you how proud he was of this run. It kind of embodied that he was a good player. And again, Ilu is a European player. This shows that he was playing PAL. PAL seems to have been the advantage version. Will we ever see an NTSC record in the game? Maybe, maybe not. And yeah, some of the guys would like shoot to lure a couple guards down the spiral there, which is probably a good strategy at that time. You know, you can get him in a better spot to take their ammo. He's lucky he didn't get back boosted there by that guard, that's for sure. Okay. Nice shots. He's got 3 bullets here. Very nice. 1, 2, 3 mines. Beautiful. Let's see what he's got here. Running in, taking out the RC P90. And he's in. He's in. Caverns 00 142 tying Wouter's amazing untied world record after nearly 3 years. Pretty good. You know, I'm just looking down to Lou's like YouTube channel from that era. And no, there's nothing on it, sadly. I mean, there's some interesting stuff on it, but not for this Not for this lore, unfortunately. A great run. Great run. I remember myself personally during this run, it was like, who's going to tie 142? Will it ever be tied? You know, back then you don't know how long people are going to play the game for. And I remember I was actually, it was August 06, and I just joined in July 05, and I was out like a friend's cottage for the weekend. And back then, like, we didn't have, you know, internet everywhere you went. You know, you didn't have space internet on your phone. And so I was like, it was like the first weekend I really spent away from checking the Elite religiously every moment of every day, F5ing the forums and stuff. And when I came back from 2 or 3 days at the cottage is when I saw Lou at the 142. So yeah, I was kind of like, oh man, should I ever go away again with no internet? You know, I missed this huge event. I mean, that's not really what I thought, but in a way, kind of. But, you know, we had a nice, wholesome time. Some lads up there swimming and having bonfires and walking around and so on. So I came back and got to watch this glorious run. So pretty cool time. Pretty cool time. Very, very nice by Lou. And yeah, what's interesting, something is very interesting, is that the next person to tie this record would be a kind of unexpected person. A runner by the name of Funky Buddha. Funky Buddha. He was an Australian runner. He was pals with Carl and Matt Cook and those guys. And yeah, let's just watch the run. It's gonna have music in it. I'll try to put on YouTube. I don't see it coming up as any copyright or anything. But hey, it might end up getting muted in the end. And that's it. Let's just watch this Funky Buddha, Caverns 00142. You know, he was this kind of interesting guy. He was really into this, like, psychedelic music. And I remember talking to him one day, and he's like, did you like the song I put in my 142? And I was like, it's like, I don't know, like, I don't have an opinion. He's like, you know, it's one of the best songs ever. If I had to, like, die and could only take one song with me, it would be that song. And I forget what it is. But I remember he turned, it was around the time, he turned me on to the electronic duo Infected Mushroom. And so I was some, 17, 18-year-old keener, listen to Infected Mushroom, pretending I was a cool dude. Yeah, pretty much. So he was, I didn't know who I was talking to. I thought, oh, he's this cool guy. He's showing me about this, like, psychedelic music. And of course, he was, into hallucinogens and things like that. And hey, that's the kind of guy he was, and that's all good. It's kind of funny. You think like, oh, should I be like this guy? Is he cooler than me? Right? Should I be listening to Infected Mushrooms and doing these hallucinogens so I can be a great GoldenEye runner? Or, it's like, right? You don't know who to have as your role model when you're 17, 18. That's the thing. But hey, you got a beautiful speedrun here. I mean, it is a cool song. It is a cool song. I mean, Robbie in chat is claiming that he says this, that my story was actually about his secret agent run on Caverns, secret agent. Maybe it's true, but hey, the story is the story regardless. So that's the thing. This guy got great records in Perfect Dark. I think some of the longest standing on tides ever. And he was only ever, like, 20th, 30th in GoldenEye. He never, like, pursued GoldenEye that hard. Yeah, his attack ship Perfect Agent 312 is number 10 on the all-time Perfect Dark longest standing on tide list. You can see him right there at the bottom. Funky Buddha. So many attack ship runs on here. Okay, 3 attack ship runs on here. But yeah, great run. Great run by Funky Buddha. Interesting fellow. And he was also a very good Mario Kart runner. He was like, there was a point where he was like top 10 Perfect Dark, top 20 GoldenEye, and like top 20 Mario Kart 64. And so it's like, man, is this guy the best N64 gamer of all time. And maybe in 2006 he was. Man, he's still ranked 31st in Mario Kart 64. That is, that's pretty remarkable. That is pretty good. Wow, 31st. Good stuff. I'm talking about Funky Buddha. Greg Lewis was his name. Australian bloke. And it was a surprise, right? Because he was ranked like 20th, 30th in GoldenEye, and no one was thinking that he'd... It was a shocking run that this guy came along and joined Ilu and Wouter with Caverns 00 and 42. In March 2007, however, one other would join Wouter and Ilu and Funky Buddha. Finally, the madman, Brian Bosshart, Big Boss Man. This was at the time when Boss was like, okay, there are a few levels I've never held the world record on. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be tough. But I must get the record on every single stage. I must. And this was part of that quest. Boss had... We saw the old screenshot of the rankings. Boss had 143, 1 second off. He's like, I gotta go for it. Like, there's no doubt. And now he's on NTSC English. Okay, NTSC. Much more difficult to survive. You probably survive, 1 in 200 runs, maybe. And then on those runs, you have to hope that the objectives don't fail, which they can easily do. The scientists, 3 of them can pass away, and you fail that. Yeah, has he not been hit yet? There's 1 hit. You can miss Objective B, you can miss one of the mainframes. The radio room can blow up before you have a chance to complete Objective D. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. Like, he was out of AR-33 ammo and had to, pick another weapon to shoot that guard. Which, that could have been a terrible fail. He's shooting guards in the return. Left strafes in there, that's interesting. Wow. Wow. Boss did it, the absolute madman. 142 Caverns 00 agent. Well, Ministry, it's a tough call. There's, I would say, five that might be in consideration, and they're all featured in this episode, so you can watch and make your own judgment, I suppose. 142 by Boss. And Boss finally had tied the Caverns 00 run. But he was like, you know what, man? I'm Boss. I'm Boss. I mean, imagine waking up and thinking that you're Boss. And actually being Boss. This Objective B area is fine. But, it could be smoother. That guard ducked, and then he didn't get all the shots on him. So it's there's probably 2 or 3 seconds that could have gone better. It is, I mean, Alchemaz brings up a good point. It's a very hectic level. It's certainly not optimized yet. I mean, we've seen where he could save time. And yet they've all landed on 142. And this run from Boss March 07, Boss played some other levels, but he kept this one in the back of his mind. And he thought, I'm Boss. I can do lower. And he played and played and played. And in May 2007, Boss would get a run so remarkable, so unbelievable, that it can only be dedicated to our SpeedLore champion, and a new SpeedLore champion at that. A SpeedLore champion by the name of Jazz Apples. Thank you for supporting SpeedLore on Patreon, Jazz Apples. This is an incredible run. I hope you enjoy it. Let's take a look. I alluded to it earlier. about how we weren't going to see another 11-second Untied, but there was another pretty hefty cut that was coming along. And yeah, let's see what happens. Well, Boss definitely never had the Untied on like Bunker 1 Agent. 17 was by Wouter for a long time. Now 16, but like that's one that comes to mind. Frigate Agent as well. Or like anything that Wouter had like a maxed time on, Boss might not have had the Untied. But it's a short list. Nice shot. I think Boss is missing some Aztec, maybe Aztec Agent. If it's okay, so like we can see this is a much better B. The guard didn't troll him by kneeling and then not passing away. He sees the flames. Really good B. He sees the flames. And again, remember Wouter, on his 142 where he saw the flames, had to turn around for objective C, blowing this room up. Boss gets a back boost, hits the radio very cleanly out. It blows. That was a late objective C blow. One back boost. Another back. In. What is it? Caverns, 00 Agent, 138. A 4-second Untied in the year 2007. Unbelievable. Absolutely mad. Not only that, but this time was also the one that broke the 114 barrier in the game. Imagine that much swag, The total time barrier's like 115. People are getting Untieds. And then he just drops a 4-second Untied to smash the barrier. Beautiful. And again, like I'm pretty sure that there is one other 4-second Untied after, not on Caverns 00. But I think this is the second most recent 4-second Untied in the game's history. Yeah, I'm looking through and that's got to be correct. The most recent one is Clemens' Aztec Agent 126. If you remember the Aztec episodes, I think I leave off on part 2 on that run. I think that's right. So that 138 by Boss is the second most recent 4-second Untied in the history of GoldenEye, set in 2007. Incredible run. And by all measures, it should have been Untied probably forever. I mean, who could ever match that Untied? Let's see if I can find a ranking snapshot and see what I can see. So it looks like not long after this, Ace would get 140. Of course, he's Ace. And other players were starting to get in the 140s. Like Cervone, Glenn Stevens, Leo Santos, Jimmy Bauer, Lovins. So people were getting better at Caverns 00, but they still weren't getting into Boss 138 territory. But nearly a full year later, in March 2008, I mentioned Ace got 140. It would be our pal Dave Clemens coming in, trying to match the Boss 138. I mean, Clemens especially back then, was so strong-headed. He would never listen to criticism, He'd be like, oh, and not just criticism, but like advice either. Be like, hey Clem, like it's a lot harder to play this on NTSC English than PAL. He'd be like, I don't care. Like I'm gonna play it and get the insane record. Like what do I care? I'm not gonna listen to your the naysayers and the doubters. I mean, Clem is pretty damn good. Like, yeah, I mean, you guys are mentioning in chat now, Ace recently got an untied soup on Perfect Art's G5 stage. And Clem matched one of the records earlier tonight. Like, Clem is still that good. Ooh, he didn't see the flames. The B area could have been maybe 1 second faster. Didn't see the flames. You know what? The rest of this lore, which might be another 3 hours, we might see a lot of the Ace versus Clem rivalry continue through the night. Oh my god, a back boost almost passing away. He's in there. Caverns 00138. He tied Boss's 4 seconds. I mean, that's pretty insane. According to Joris's research, the comment he left in this video, like somewhere on the forums or somewhere, he said, basically a crap time, definitely going for lower. Basically a crap time, definitely going for lower. Well, there's that. There's that. So the comment Joris dug up was that this is basically a crap time, definitely going for lower. And so, indeed, the very next day, Clemens would go and get this speed run. Let's take a look here. Objective A completed, very nice. Coming up. Kind of a late one. Yep. He is the very next day. The very next day. Ooh, he gets hit from behind. I'm assuming this will be like his 138, but a better Objective B. He'll probably see the fire. I mean, at this point, you're pretty much just YOLOing everything. We got a hit. That might hurt him. Ooh, maybe not. Ooh, yeah, okay, barely sees it. Honestly, he could even have done it a second or two faster. He got kind of trolled by the guard on the left. He got kind of trolled. Everything worked out there. One back boost. Unbelievable. And again, these were on NTSC English, so he's probably like completing, you know, 1 in 200 runs to the end. Caverns 00137. Unbelievable. Yeah, let's look at the Objective B area. Throws the mine. Yeah, I mean, it actually wasn't that bad. That's the kind of thing with Clem, it's like, oh, that was bad. They're like, wait, that wasn't that bad. Yeah, here he is on the stage. It's you know, people mentioned in chat earlier the green DC. Little is it known, he actually had gold. His color was gold back then, so there we go. There's the times on Caverns, Double O Agent, you know, in the aftermath of Clemens' 137. Done in March 2008. Yeah, and also, it may have been first try. You see how he queued in from, like, Frigate? It seems as though this was first try. He was playing, like, Frigate earlier. So that is also pretty insane. That's pretty nuts. Yeah. Not to be outdone, my friends. We all know Clemens and you know, came along after Boss, who came along after Wouter, but alongside Clemens came along Perfect Ace. And only a couple months later, Perfect Ace would use the PAL version to his advantage. It was one of the PAL favorited levels, and he would go on and get this speedrun. Let's take a look. So yeah, you're running in there, you're hoping that guard is annoyed by your presence enough to leave. We clearly see both of those guards leave. That's good stuff. Objective A completes very cleanly. Like, this is honestly a perfect run so far. A perfect run. Joris seems to be believing that Ace is still using 1.3 control style this time, which plays like 1.1, but uses A to shoot instead of Z. That's how Ace played in his early days. And this being an early Ace run, it's probably true. This is legit perfect so far. Let's see what he does. Like, this is flawless so far. Okay, a back boost there. So, like, the back boost not only back boosts you, but it prevents you from shooting for a couple frames. So, like, it was a bit slower shots on that left mainframe. Okay. I mean, but other, like, that's maybe a 1 second maybe thing. Hit there. Oh, man, he hit a scientist in the rear. Objective C completes. I mean, this run looks really good. I'm kind of surprised. Wow, that run was, like, honestly almost perfect. I'm kind of surprised that was only 137. Like, that was a really, really good run. Wow. But there you go, Ace tied the 137. And so, the rivalry between Clem and Ace is on. And it'll stay on. It'll stay on for a while. I'm sure Clem and Ace got up to a heck of a lot over the next year, going back and forth. We'll look up 08. Yep, that's for sure. They, yeah, okay. I can show this. You can see Clem and Ace got up to a heck of a lot after this. At the very top, you can see Caverns 00, 137. All of these other Untides were done in 08. And it's kind of crazy that the last of the Untides were in July. Like, the second half of 2008 saw no Untides. That's really crazy. Mark hadn't joined yet, believe it or not. And, I mean, 09 was crazy. I don't think Ace had an Untied in 09. Yeah, Ace did not have an Untied in 09. And there were only 7 Untides in all of 09. Mark had his first one in 09. So, that's remarkable. So, it's like, it's interesting in that Ace and Clem were, like, fighting hard in the first half of 08. They got Cavs 137, Ace matched it, and then it went quiet for the second half of 08. It went quiet into 09. Clemens finally got one Untied in April 09. Was the first one. I mean, that's insane. We went from July 15, 08 to April 21, 09. That's 9 months with no Untides in GoldenEye. And so people might have thought, like, is the game dead? And, like, it very well might have been about to die. It might have been. That's, wow. But Clem would revive it, not only with Control Agent 358, his first Untied of 2009, but also with this run on April 30th, 2009. A run so incredibly remarkable, so beautiful, so insane. Honestly, might be one of the best runs in GoldenEye history. It might. It can only be dedicated to our SpeedLore champion, Robert G. Thank you, Robert G., for supporting SpeedLore on Patreon. Let's take a look at this insane speedrun. I mean, surely you guys have deduced by now. You know, we're only in 2009. More is going to happen in this episode. There was recently a thread on the forums asking, like, What's the best world record set for the strategy used and the time, like it was set, the era? And I said damn 00155, which I think has a fair argument to it. But Luke Sklar's said Caverns 00135 by Clem. And it also has a really, really good argument to it. This run, under the circumstances, will probably never be replicated. Perfect. Like, it's picture perfect so far. I don't believe he has any damage. A tiny stuck there, which may have been beneficial. It might have messed up the drone timing. Oh my god. Beautiful. Oh my god. He almost gets back boosted by the fire. He's that fast. It's like, is there such a thing as being too fast? You get backed by the fire. Took some damage there. It blows up, but he gets the B press in time. Avoids hits. Sneaks through. Backed. Forwarded. Oh my god. Caverns 00 Agent 135. Yeah, I mean, it's just madness. Thankfully, and this is what's cool is that this was actually uploaded to Clemens' channel. Like, look at this. The bizarre triangle channel in April 09. How many YouTube videos do you see from April 09? Pretty insane, eh? Ridiculously awesome run, man. You got so lucky through the run with your life, especially at the end. Must have felt super tense. Wow. Hey, thanks, man. Never gotten boosted after drone tone before. Had a pretty lucky ratio. Extremely intense. Crazy. Yeah, Clemens has, like, lost access to that channel. It's abandoned now, I believe. Maybe. Who knows? Now, thankfully for us, Clemens had the foresight to do a commentary run. So let's watch and enjoy what Clem has to say about his 135. I wonder if he has lewd language. Probably not that bad, but he might. You know, this is a historical run we're going to watch. Things were different in 09 on the internet, so there's your warning. This is a historical analysis of something from the internet back then. You know, please don't ban Areno. Okay, here we go.
Okay, I've decided to go ahead and make a commentary for my 135. Normal start. No boost. Pretty good, though. Tried to kill that guard. I usually try to kill him just for fun. Alright, good scientist. You don't want to go too far up, lose a little time there. I used 2 mines here. I probably could have used 1, but I don't want to risk it. It's kind of annoying when you blow the start. I was also using mine strat on the second catwalk if I only used 1 mine in the A area, since then I could just lay 2 after the B area and kill the guards, but if you use 2 earlier, then you'll be 1 mine too short. I usually try to lure 3 of them there, which makes it a little easier. So you don't get some stupid boost later, more ammo. Okay, no boost, pretty good. Good strafing. Pretty funny. Oh well. Good B area, very good. Yep. That one console almost didn't blow up. Okay, I get a boost here. Yep. You can't even really tell, but that ZMG guard just barely boosted me through the flames. Another boost. I might have died from not for that too, so that's pretty lucky. Just took 1 bar off. Okay. Decent. Kind of stuck there, but nothing too bad. Just a few tenths. Nice boost. Kind of a wide turret, but nothing too bad. 1 back. 1 boost. I thought I was going to die for sure, but I was just like, please don't kill me. Good lift warp too, by the way. I knew it was at least 136, but I didn't really think it was 135. Pretty intense. Haha! 135! Yes! Very happy about this. 2-second on tide. Hopefully I'll get more in the future, though.
Oh, very professional commentary from Clem there. Pretty good, hey? Let's see if there's any comments. Great stuff. Great commentary. Yeah. Nice. Oh, there, look, Mark from 10 years ago. Oh, huh. Why not throw a mine on the computer to the right at the Objective B controls like on Secret Agent? Too hard to survive? That is a very interesting suggestion from the budding superstar Mark Rutsu. Wow. Huh. Alex Axum, great commentary, perfect run. I would say 132 is possible, but maybe only 1 second could be cut off from that stuck. Very interesting stuff. I mean, that was just honestly like, like I can't overstate how good that run is. It literally might be one of the best runs in the history of the game. And so might this one, because somehow a year later, Perfect Ace managed to match the time, which shouldn't have happened. Like it legit, yeah, Alex Axum, what a throwback, hey? Like, I'm sure this is just another perfect run. Apparently it's 1.3 control style as well. Oh, yeah. You're right, because the replies aren't matched together, JD Black. But yeah, if only you're right. That's the thing. By throwing the mine at the top of the stairs, you do eliminate a few guards there. So Clemens brings up a good point. If you were to throw the mine over to the right console, those guards are going to really do damage to you on the way out of the B area. And again, you are already only living like 1% of runs, so this is unlikely to succeed. It's like, so Mark is suggesting don't throw this mine and instead throw it over to the right side of this area. And that would mean you could leave now because a mine would blow up those controllers, those pumps instead. I think, all the pump objectives, I'm pretty sure the Japanese translation level is like pump facility. I think Robbie remembers that. Robbie remembers the pump facility as being a funny meme for a while. And then if you pause, in the pause menu it says water caverns instead. Wow. Insane run by Ace. Dude, Ace has 6,000 views on this, not bad. 135, I mean, that's unbelievable, honestly. For 2010, June 2010, unbelievable. Oh yeah, you can see, it says on the end screen water caverns. But, yeah, on the Japanese it says pump facility instead. Let's see if Ace has got any comments. Huh. Oh, people asking about boosting. Wow. Oh, wow. Clemens says very low 135. As dying I lay, do you realize how stupid you make yourself look? Several people have said that mind boosting isn't possible on Double O Agent, and now you seriously think 0.1 is going to make that serious of a difference? Oh, man. See, this is classic internet in 09 right now. Okay, this is classic internet. Back then. Here's Ace, poor 15-year-old Ace, as being as nice as he can be. If it was me, I would have been something else. Yeah, great run by Ace. And yeah, let's take a look at the, here we go, 09, look. The game was passing away. The game was it was over. Only 7 untieds in the year 2009. The game was so over that we didn't notice something very strange. Oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, I found this run last minute. This is Henning Blom. It's a 136 failed, so he almost tied the record. Let's watch.
Yeah, this is some failed run. I just don't want that blue timeline crap on the 136 run.
Oh, and this was even before Ace tied the 135. Robbie's gonna lose his mind in a second.
I failed to kill the bastards here. Oh my god. Completely missed him. Oh well, this is the 136 C failed run.
C failed. Wow, that's actually heartbreaking.
I tried to do that like on Agent, trying to kill that first god. Okay, no back boost there. Boom boom, 2 mines. I usually try 2 mines.
Boom Boom 2 Mines became an immediate meme in the community.
So all completes like every time. And here in the Spirit I only had to kill 1 guard. You had to kill 3 on your 135. That was pretty surprising. Oh well.
I mean, Henning's an insane player, honestly.
Good strafing and all. Like it should be. I missed killing that motherfucker. Some nice boost. Kinda hesitated. But still pretty nice B area, like any 137.
It's like the explosion, even though you see it still, it's like the last couple frames of it being visible doesn't do damage.
136 run. And I am the die.
My god, Henning.
No, I got stuck on that glass. And no drawbacks, I don't
Okay, Henning, like, really?
recall that. Ah, shit. Lift warp. If you can say warp. Oh well, that was the run. 136. And best time 141. Oh yeah. That's so sweet.
I mean, that was a good run. So what's insane about this run is that what failed, and like, again, this is like welcome to Caverns 00. You don't get an appreciation for it when you're only seeing the world record runs. It's like the run was perfect, and just by chance, the objective C area didn't blow up, which is like so unfortunate. It's like he hits objective D, the radio. If the air thing blows up now, it completes objective C. It's possible that if C completes, the scientists would have died and then he would have failed objective E, but it's also possible it wouldn't have happened. Like, maybe he could have turned around like we saw Wouter do, lose 1 second, and then get a 137 completion, which would be a pretty good run at the time, right? I mean, Luke brings a good point. We all know the fate of Henning now over these 31 episodes of SpeedLore. Might he have not spliced runs if this completed, you know? Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, I mean, the game was so dead. It was like Clements and Henning and maybe a bit of Mark and me and Cliff. Shoutouts to Cliff. The game was dead. So dead that for some reason we didn't even notice something incredible. I mean, 2010, things kind of caught back on fire briefly, but not that long. Not that long. But something stunning happened. Let's watch a speedrun. Here's a guy, Takahiro Arai, Taka. He was a perfect Dark champion. He played some GoldenEye, but he wasn't a top GoldenEye player. How did he get 136? That's a really good time. How did he get 136? There's a video of his 141. Let's watch that. So Japanese speedrunner playing GoldenEye. And the Japanese speedrunners usually didn't play GoldenEye. Okay, they usually play Perfect Dark. So this is the first run of a Japanese player playing Caverns 00. Wait, is he a madman? Wow, okay, he did something... I thought this run was going to reveal something that it didn't reveal. Unbelievable. Anyways, somehow, the Japanese version has a body armor in that Objective A area. I guess Taka felt like it was cheating to pick it up. I think that's what it was, and so he didn't want to pick it up. I mean, I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see, Luke. Maybe he does. I don't know. Yeah. But I mean, if he got 136, he definitely got that body armor. There's no way he got 136 skipping the BAs. No way. Here we go. Let's see what he does here. Oh, he skips the late body armor. He must have, wow. I'm stunned. I'm absolutely stunned. I cannot believe what I've seen. Alright. So, I thought that this run was going to show that the Japanese cartridges have the body armor in them. It didn't. One way or another, it was revealed that the Japanese version had left-in body armors. Okay. I guess the issue was... Oh, look, we found one. We found one. Oh my god, Riolo found one. Let's see what Riolo's got here. Yes. Patrick Nilsson's got it. A 148. We're not going to watch it beyond the body armor, but... This is what was revealed. Okay. Right here is a body armor. This gives you double health. So now you go from surviving 1 in 100 runs to surviving almost every single run. You have literally twice the health. Okay. And not only that, but there's a late body armor, which he might also get. After this blast door. So you go from having 8 bars of health to having 20 bars of health available to you. Wow, that didn't work out for him. Yeah, he's going for it. And now it's like surviving levels free. And so Nilsson was doing this in 2008. But like, it still wasn't that widespread because, I mean, think about it back then. Nowadays, every single speedrunner has the Japanese version of the games. It's kind of like ubiquitous. But like back then, we didn't really know. We didn't know. We didn't know how to get these cartridges. We didn't know if it was worth it. It just seemed like so over the top. But it was known that the Japanese version had the body armors. And so this discussion began on the forums. Like, should we accept this? Should we allow this? Yeah, the second body armor is half health, 4 bars. And it was like hotly debated on the forums for a while, like should we or should we not? And eventually it was like, well, like some things get allowed in games, you're like, why was that allowed? That seems so outrageous. But it's like, it's literally a cartridge of the game, okay? It's literally the cartridge in Japanese. This is GoldenEye on N64, there's no doubt about it. How can we not allow this? And so eventually, yeah, it was like, okay, well, if you're going to go through the trouble of getting a cartridge from Japan and swapping out the back of the cartridge to unregion lock the game, then enjoy your time save. That was sort of the attitude back then. And very few people ever had the Japanese cartridge. Okay. Cut to 2011. Clemens and Alex decide to get on a flight and travel to the sovereign nation of Sweden, Swedish, to visit Ilu and Henning Blom. There's an insane story about how, like, Clemens and Alex were... You check in online and you pick your seats for the flight, and they picked seats beside each other, and then when they went to board, they didn't have seats beside each other. They were like, hey, what the heck? Like, you know, we're friends. We don't see each other often. We're flying to Sweden, a long flight. Like, we wanted to sit beside each other. You know, Alex is like, yeah, I don't want to say he's like a Karen type. But like Alex, if something's wrong, Alex will go and say something about it. And do it like a very earnest, honest manner. You know, so he's like, hey, like, we want to sit beside each other. You know, what's going on, guys? And so, no joke, the Swedish Airlines flight, is that the line? Swedish Airways, Swedish Airlines, Swedish Airlines, Scandinavian Airlines. They literally were like, okay, you know what? We'll put these guys in first class because it's the only seats beside each other. So, like, Clem and Alex are looking, you know, dressed like Ilu, basically. Wearing, like, ripped jeans and a t-shirt. And they put them in first class so they could sit beside each other. And Clem said he had, like, 4 champagnes or something on the trip. Yeah, it's pretty... They have pictures. If I find them, I'll put them in the YouTube version of this. So, pretty epic. Pretty funny stuff. Yeah. They got to Sweden, they met Ilu and Henning, and they had a good time. This is a minute 20 seconds long of them hanging out, you know, being awkward nerds, as we all have been going to these events. So let's take a look.
Alright, this is a Swedish Meet 2011. Henning, Lou, Alex, and me. It's pretty insane. Me and Alex just had a 1955 burger from McDonald's.
Yes, I threw the paper, unfortunately, or they're in the trash.
Why did you do that? Threw my paper away. There's a big apple pie we're gonna eat, and then we're gonna play GoldenEye, and Lou's gonna beat Perfect Dark and Perfect Agent in under a minute with no deaths. With no deaths. No wonder 1 hour. What is it? Like a minute. With no deaths.
Sure.
I'm gonna try to get a defection 6 within like 2 or 3 tries. So I'm gonna play some multi and whatever WarioWare and Mario Party.
You have to get some GameCube controllers to Mark gets here.
Yeah, Mark should be here on Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday, I think.
Tuesday.
No, I mean, they are socially awkward. I mean, that's how nerds are. And especially like, nowadays, like, we get along more normally. But like back then, like, in 2011, meeting someone online was still kind of weird. Like, nowadays it's not weird at all. But back then it was weird, right? It was like, oh, this is not what normal people do. And, you know, combined with your social, you're still kind of young, you know, all this kind of stuff, right? This video that Riolo dug up is called Free Champagne. Let's take a look at this.
Alright, we're in the plane. It's Alex, me, DC, LC.
Give us some champagne, orange juice,
Orange juice would be good.
Also champagne.
Alright.
Thank you. Pick up that video.
Easy just got some champagne.
Yeah, we got a free upgrade to business class. It's raining. Oh, it's like pouring up. Ridiculous. On our way to Amsterdam.
Alright, so it was business class, not first class, but still pretty good. Yeah, business class on Scandinavian Airlines. Pretty epic. Yeah, this is deep lore for sure. Okay, so there are a few other videos from the meet. If I find them, I'll post them in the thread or the description. There's a couple of that I saw, and I was like, okay, they're kind of just... There's one of Lou rambling drunk, and it's not that interesting. But this next video is... At this meet, okay, at this meet, I mean, they did mention Mark Rutsu was showing up. And, like, there was, you know, I think Mark didn't want to show up at first, and then he finally did. And, Clemens was like, hey, dude, like, I'm going overseas, like, I never, like, come on. And, like, Mark had to get off his butt and travel on a train from Denmark to Sweden and didn't want to, or something like that. Anyways, at the meet, they had a Japanese cartridge. With the Japanese cartridge, Henning Blom played a run with the body armor and got this record. This run is so bizarre, strange, historic, achromatic, achron, you know, the timing is weird. That it can only be dedicated to our SpeedLore champion, Mr. Moxie. Mr. Moxie, I hope you enjoy this unorthodox speedrun of Caverns Double Agent by Henning Blom at the Swedish Meet 2011. Let's take a look. So you can see, because the body armor makes it easier to live, he was able to take a more aggressive strategy in the Objective B room. Oh my god! Okay, that could have gone terribly. He lost like 2 seconds there, by the way. He's almost passed away. Like, even with the body armor, you can still pass away. With the run completed, Caverns Double Agent. At this point, Henning presses A, yells, yes! It's a 133, a new untied world record. Let's see, we should be able to see, because of the body armor, he was able to do this secret agent strategy of throwing the mine over the right side of the cliff. Okay. And now... You know, now he leaves. Now he's done. And now Objective B is complete. And that saves several seconds. I mean, that's a good point, Weldon. I mean, clearly the level's brutal. Very brutal. I mean, if you can almost die with 16 bars of health, this shows that every run I've shown earlier was the exception, not the rule. You know, like I said, less than 1% of the runs would complete. Or even get to the end. And now it's like, you know, 50% of your runs, maybe more, get to the end. But you can still pass away. Now, as amazing and epic as this Henning run is, 133 and new untied using the Japanese cartridge, you know, some people thought, is this a little bit cheap to use a cartridge that no one else has really yet and get a new record that way? And you know, maybe I could see people with that perspective. I can understand. But, like, what's hilarious about this run is that, you know, by the end of the following year, 2012, Henning was discovered to have, you know, made more fake speedruns than anyone else in GoldenEye history. He was, you know, it was you guys know the story from episode 1 of SpeedLore, okay? You guys know the story. But the thing with the Caverns 00 run is that a lot of people argued, like, oh, Henning at least had some legit records, so maybe those records should remain on the rankings. And you know, I can understand that argument. You know, people saw him get these records live. They saw with their own eyes. He couldn't have cheated these runs. Surely these records should stay on the rankings. And I think Cradle 34 was considered one of them, and Caverns 00133 was considered one of them as well. The funny thing is, when he got this 133, it just so happens Ilu, Alex, and Clemens were in the kitchen reheating pizza that they had ordered the day before. So there's like a theory, a suggestion that like maybe Henning somehow pulled like some David Blaine black magic trickery and like did a live splice of a run, and like he somehow managed to fake it before their eyes. Now, for what it's worth, I don't think that happened. I don't see anything being suspicious in this run. It's like you could like lower the accuracy or the guard health or something on 007 mode and then splice in the end screen. You could, but like I don't think that happened. I think this is a legit run. But the fact that there is like this plausibility that like maybe he was some sort of god tier, you know, like in The Prestige, you know, like some insane magician splicing runs at every twist and turn, it adds to the lore and legacy of this 133 Caverns 00 achieved live at the Swedish meet. I mean, what are the odds? What are the odds? And I mean, that's why Clemens took it so personally when it was revealed that Henning's frigate times were faked, because like Henning talked to him about the runs live in person, like lied to his face about it, right? So feels bad, man. And like Clemens, it's stolen valor in a way, because Clemens never got to, you know, his frigate Secret Agent 101 was one of the longest standing on tides of all time, but it never got to like experience them as it happened because Henning had claimed this 1 minute. You see? So it was stolen valor. Yeah. Really one of the most insane stories of all time. Yeah, it's up there. It's up there for a SpeedLore. It would be Yendis. It would be very interesting to, like, I personally think, like, you know what, is it time to unban Henning? Like, maybe it is. Maybe it's time to I mean, who knows, though? Maybe we won't take it that far, but maybe it is. Maybe 2020 is the era for full forgiveness for everyone, for everything. Okay. Now, all things considered, Henning's 133 was an amazing record, amazing run. Clemens would go home. Yeah, he was very, very clearly, he was a great player. I mean, that 136 fail on English is, when I said that 135 by Clements and Ace is one of the best records ever, I mean it. And the fact Henning almost tied it shows how good he was. Like, Henning is at least in the tier of, like, Ilu, Carl, like, in the second or third absolute tier of best players ever, you know? Like, someone asked earlier, you know, it's like Ace, Mark, Clem, I think, are the tier 1, and then below them is, like, the legacy tier of, like, Boss and Wouter, and then under that is, like, the Ilu, Carl, Mark, Henning. Henning's in that tier, I think. So, yeah, unbelievable. Great player. Things happen. Things happen. But yes, Clemens would head home from Sweden with a Japanese cartridge. And alas, Clemens was actually playing Perfect Dark a lot that summer, but in between Perfect Dark grinds, Clemens was able to knock up this speedrun. Nice one mine thrown there. At this point, you really want only to throw one mine at the objective A, at the second objective A console, because you're also going to use a mine now at objective B. And so that'll only leave, if you throw 2 at A and 1 at B, that only leaves 2 mines for the, hallway before the radio room. And so you want at least 2, hopefully 3. That's the big deal. So now he has 4 mines. Chucks one there, beautiful. This is going to be great. That was great. I think the comments say that this is from the Terminator. This is the Terminator score. RCP-90 barely tickles the radio. He didn't get that late body armor, because it like, the first body armor wastes no time. The second one takes, like, a half a second to get. Yeah, Terminator 1 theme, Caverns 00132, amazing run by David Clemens, June 2011. He knocked it out of the park there. Yeah, he was going for this Chicago Agent 14, which he would get a week later. And that would go on to be one of Perfect Dark's longest standing on tides. So, yeah, I mean, Alex Axum predicted it in the comments back in the day on that old video. I mean, Alex Axum is another hilarious tidbit, because, like, I would always troll him about metal music. I feel like I've mentioned that before in a SpeedLore. And I don't know where he is now. He played DLTK, he loved metal, and Robbie a bit as well. We would always troll him hard about it. How it's the most skillful genre. Anyways. Okay. Great run by Clemens. Amazing speedrun. It would remain untied a full year later. We're in the Twitch era, late 2012. Everyone knows the Twitch era. All the amazing streams coming along. I actually got like 134 in the Twitch era. It was pretty cool. 134. So I was like, I could, maybe. And at this point, a lot of good players have been revived. Remember, look how dead the rankings were in 2009. Very, very dead. 2011, they're also pretty dead. It's just Clem and Mark. But by 2012, and certainly 2013, things come alive again. And one player who was revived in all this, you can see at the tail end of 2012, was Perfect Ace. Perfect Ace. Perfect Ace, in 2013, would finally get hold of a Japanese cartridge. And thus was able to lower his 135 with this remarkable speedrun. One mine there, pretty nice. You can see now we're not doing that thing where we would shoot a bunch of times in the spiral to lure guards. It was just not considered necessary. Like, you can get enough ammo and survive without doing that. You see he took out 2 AR-33 guards, though. Now he has 24 bullets in the magazine. Man, that was a pretty nice B area. And no back boost. Oh man, this is a hot run. I'm surprised this isn't faster. He might lose time later. He missed picking it up. Oh, he must have had too much health. So that body armor only does 4 bars of health. So if you have more than 4 body armor bars, you don't get it. Oh, man. Man, holy... Oh, man. Oh, like 3 back boosts there. pretty nice run by the one and only Perfect Ace. That was nasty. July 2013. 3 backflips at the end. You know, he dipped in left for the second body armor when he didn't have to because he had enough health. So that might have lost half a second. And so Ace is probably thinking, what if I could go for lower? And so the very next day, he went and got this speedrun. Did you see that little trick? I'm not sure if the other guys did it, because I wasn't, like, you know, watching every second. But he shot 3 AR-33 bullets. The scientist was alerted and ran out into the room. And thus he was able to throw the mine from further away, instead of going right to those consoles and placing the mine. So that saves, like, about a second right there. So that's a good deal. Yeah, so I mean, that's a good way to put it, Quirky. Is that, like, back in the day, it was all about getting a clean run and surviving. And now, since we can survive, like, more than 1% of the runs, now it's about all these micro strats and, like, half-second optimizations, 1-second time savers. Things for consistency, all that kind of stuff. Stuff that you would never have thought about before, now you're starting to think about. That was an incredibly beautiful radio room. That was probably the best radio room we've seen tonight. Ding and in. Caverns 00131 untied world record. Great run by Perfect Ace there. Amazing, amazing run. Dat Psytrance. Wow. This John Davis is really trolling. Dude, this guy's a dick. Anybody can do the one thing out of 8 million tries. Okay, John, where's your Caverns 131 then? Pfft. Oh yeah, the music. When this music comes up, that means I gotta mute it for YouTube, so that's that. Great run by Ace. Untied world record. But hey, what did I just say? A lot of players had been revived. Many players revived. Mark Rutsu was one of them. And so only a couple months later, in September 2013, Mark Rutsu would get this beautiful speedrun. A speedrun which I will dedicate to our SpeedLore champion, 4-Day Bender. Thank you for supporting SpeedLore on Patreon. Check out this beautiful Mark Rutsu run. So Mark's used 3 mines there. That's a lot. Yeah, the audio is slightly aggressive. It's not terrible though. So now he's only gonna have 2 mines for the post Objective B area, which is a bit tougher because there are guards who will come around and harass you with shots. But I'm sure he'll pull it off. Nice headshot there. So he probably has like 14 or 17 AR-33 bullets. Probably needs 1 more AR-33 guard. You want to have like more than 20 bullets for the B area. So there's the mine. Switch back to AR-33. 24 bullets. You want to go like 12 there. Like, yeah, that was a pretty much perfect Objective B area. Couple looked like 2 back boosts there. Might be what harmed Rutsu. Got the second BA. That was so smooth. I mean, most of the time, you will get backed 2 or 3 times going to the radio room. And the stuff blows up, and you get stuck on guards and stuck on the crates. You know, you're only seeing the best of the best runs here. We might get into some of the crazier fail runs a bit later on. But such a super clean run by the one and only Mark Rutsu. Marcus Strika, a great 131, set in September 2013. The record would remain 131 for the foreseeable future. It was, when you're a new player coming to the community and you see 131 Perfect Ace Mark Rutsu, you're thinking like, man, I may not be able to this is a good time. This is a very good time. How can I possibly compete with these fellows? But 1 full year later, 2 full years later, Luke is really coming into his own as now a top-tier GoldenEye player. He was, we've mentioned before, he was like 60th back in the day. Comes back in the Twitch era, a slow but steady grind up the rankings, and by September 2015, he was able to join the party with this beautiful speedrun. Amazing, clean, beautiful run. As far as I know, it's not possible to warp that door at the end. I mean, not even the tool-assisted speedrun does it, so I'm going to say no. I'm going to say it's not possible. I want to see this 132 by Ace. I want to see what he does at the start here. Yeah, so... Okay, so Ace's 132, he does that trick where he shoots 3 times going down the stairs to lure out that scientist. So that's probably the first usage of it. This is Clemens' 132. I'm assuming he doesn't use it here. No, he does. Wow. Where did they not use it? Must have been Henning. Did Henning's 133 use it? Yes. I guess with the body armor. I guess it happened coincidentally with the body armor. Let's see. Ace's 135 to use it. Yep. Okay, well then. Alright. Okay, surely on the 137s this wasn't used yet. Okay, yeah, there we go. So on 135 is when people started using that trick. I thought much later. I thought 131, but there you go. Oh, so Clemens didn't use it on 135. That is pretty insane. Alright. So, another thing that sort of picked up speed with the Twitch era was the revitalization of full game runs. And one guy in particular who really enjoyed doing full game runs was the Brazilian speedrunner Spectre XS, sometimes known as simply Spec. His name, I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's Joao. Yao? I don't know. Sorry, Spec. I don't know how to say her name. Yao, maybe. Okay. Spec would discover a lot. He put together a 7-minute tutorial. I mean, this is a long tutorial. 7 minutes full of insane knowledge on the run. And I want to see something here. Yeah, okay. So, specifically on this run, he comes up with something called the Spec Lure. The Spec Lure is a consistent way to free one of these scientists. Something that you haven't seen, because it would happen on runs that aren't world records, is the scientist's objective E would often fail. If these 2 scientists pass away, and one of your earlier scientists has passed away, then you fail objective E, if 3 total pass away. So what Spec would do is, he would say shoot a single bullet over the right side silver crates inside the radio room, and this makes the scientist put his hands up, and because you're too far away from him, he will run away. It's very consistent. This is the Spec Lure. This makes objective E even more consistent. Since the world of GoldenEye isn't perfect, you might have to spam Z and go with whatever you get, 1 shot, 2 shots, whatever. You spammed Z, it fired 2 more shots. Okay. Oh, it ended up alerting guards. So he's saying on this specific example, it didn't work out perfectly, but it still worked. You want to shoot once. He shot 3 times. It happens. We will see the scientist run out of this room. Let's take a look. It's going to happen. Okay. Oh, when he got stuck, there's the scientist. You see him. He's running. When you reach the radio room, the following things will most likely happen. Scientist running away, glass will shatter, guards from inside and outside will shoot you, guards will shoot the barrels and blow up everything, the frame rate will drop. Yes, that's very accurate, Spec. Turn to the radio room, spam B, switch to right strafe. And yeah, but what this did is just made this area more consistent. You get better radio rooms, you get objective E fails less frequently, and things are good. And so Spec was able to use this to get 136, which, like, it was a high-scoring time. Not 131, the record's getting pretty low, but Spec would get a pretty good time considering he was like a 100th ranked player or something like that. He wasn't a top tier GoldenEye player, but he enjoyed going for full game runs because that's the whole point. Because he's Brazilian and the Brazilians love doing speedrunning marathons. That's where it all comes together. So he would come up with strategies to make full game runs more consistent so he could perform them at marathons. And this strategy, I mean, Caverns, if you've watched Clements play 100% recently, you'll know how tough Caverns 00 is in that setting. So anything to increase consistency on Caverns 00 is beautiful. And so Spec would find, and here's a whole, he made a whole post about it. Whole post, Spec exposed, it's been exposed, great tagline. People used to get really mad, on Reddit, on Twitter, when we would say, oh, strategy exposed, level exposed. We weren't saying it with any malice. It was just a way for us to say that something new had been discovered. Something had been revealed. It had been exposed. So yeah, great stuff. There was another strategy which we'll see here on this run, I believe, by Wotus, Rekla, the Shadow Walker. And this Spec had some ideas. I think Icy refined it as well. So let's take a look. Switch to mines, throw a mine on the bottom side of that wall, and another one on the top of this wall, on this floor. Run immediately to the body armor, ignore that scientist and those pumps, the pump controls. Because you can save one of the guards in the radio room now, you can afford letting one pass away here. And by using this technique, now all of a sudden we don't have to turn around to throw the mine. We can throw 2 mines in full strafe, boom boom 2 mines, as Henning would say, and save about a second at the start of the level. That's pretty useful, that's pretty nice stuff. But now you absolutely have to lure one of the scientists out. You've killed one there. One more is going to pass away in the radio room. That's 2. You have to lure out at least one from the radio room. That's for sure, Quirky. That's for sure. Nice throw. Ooh, beautiful. Sometimes Objective B can just fail there. There's so much lag that sometimes the mine doesn't blow up. It happens. There's the one shot. Body armor. Scientists running out. Objective C completes. Beautiful run by Wotus. 131. Amazing run, and this was in April 2016. Now, Wotus at this time had also been a rising star in the game, a great player. But he was missing one thing. He was missing an untied world record. And I'll be honest, guys like me, sometimes we'd give him a bit of heck. We'd say, oh yeah, you're top 5, but 0 career untieds. That's gotta do something about it. And I don't know how a guy like Wotus or Luke, similar position, felt about this sort of criticism or these jabs. And many people would counter saying, well, you know what? It's hard to get untieds this day and age. The points ranking is what I want. And then others would counter by saying, well, yeah, sure, but, Clem and Ace can still get untieds. And the back and forth would go on and on. But alas, Wotus saw his opening. He saw the opening, and he said, you know what? This may be the time for the untied. And on April 19th, Wotus got this amazing speedrun. I'm going to let it play out. It's 4 minutes long. It's a music run. Enjoy. And I'll be back to break it down in a couple minutes. there we have it. An Untied Caverns 00130 by Wotus. A great run. A very remarkable run. And, yeah, I mean, one big thing to notice is Wotus got really good at the 2.x control styles. So you have to play awkwardly with two controllers. One of the benefits on Caverns, though, is that you can open this door now. Now, it's open. So now that door is open earlier than usual. You know, you have a head start. If we watch, like, let's click on this Ace 137. You know, he queues in, and he has to see, he kind of builds speed along the side of the door there. Let's watch. I mean, Henning's 131, 133 might work out as well. He queues in. He's have to build speed on the side of the wall. Or like you're kind of, you know, you have a cleaner exit with the 2.x controls, and you start at full speed. So this actually saves like 0.5 of a second. Yeah, Wotus was one of the first to master 2.x, especially on levels that aren't like intuitively easy for 2.x. So you just add up all of these small time savers, this new objective A strategy, you know, the mind throws, sacrificing a scientist, you know, the early door open with 2.x control style. I mean, I'm sure this is really good. I mean, playing 2.x on Caverns 00, it sounds absolutely brutal to me. I would not want to do it. But hey, Wotus figured out, lucky to get a grenade pull there because it creates more and more explosions. That might be, if he doesn't throw it all the way down the hall, you hope he's going to take out some other guards with it. But yeah, I mean, all the explosions, all the guards, you know, leaving this heavenly plane may have been part of the reason why he has such a low leg ending, which helped immensely. Only one back boost is really, really amazing. Yeah, the double sidestep. Yeah, great stuff. Wotus' first Untied. A great run. I believe now he has 3 Untieds in his career, I believe. Might be 4. But yeah, great stuff. Wotus. 4 Untieds. Ah, yes, I was fretting Aztec Agent, that's right. Okay. Caverns 00130 would go on at a point, you know, by 2019, would go on to become the game's longest standing Untied world record. It's become a pretty prestigious record now all of a sudden. I remember Wouter's 142 was the longest standing Untied for a while. Also, you know, some of the, I mean, Joris' 255 was apparently the longest standing Untied at the time as well. So, yeah, Caverns 00 has a history of that. This record wouldn't be the longest standing Untied ever, like Wouter's was at the time, but it would be the longest standing of the current Untieds in mid-2019. It was the longest standing Untied there. And with that in mind, with that list in mind, there's the list. With that in mind, it's time to go on to part 3 of Caverns 00 SpeedLore. So as we can see, we're sitting here in mid-2019. July 9th, 2019 is when this screenshot was taken. And Wotus' record is the game's longest standing current Untied. We're going to slow things down for the next few minutes. This run is strange. Samo Sammy.
Alright, this is ridiculous. This is not a why is this time so hard?
Is watching Frasier.
Take this long. I thought I'd be in and out. I thought I'd be playing Silo or something by now.
He is on a strange quest. For some reason, Samo Sammy decided what he wanted to do was get the best time worth 0 points on every level. Why he wanted to do this, perhaps no one will ever know. but he did. I'm going to try to bring up an old Caverns rankings sheet, just to give an example. So in this example, and I mean, what happens in this part of the run isn't that important, but in this example, you know, we can see that this is the shot that I showed. This is from 2007. The best time worth 0 points in the rankings is 452. No one has it. You can see 451's worth 2 points. 452 would be worth 0 points. So Sam would be going for whatever that time was on every stage. Again, why? No one knows. He wanted to be... It was like a fun meme project for him. He wanted to be the best player. He wanted to be like top 100 on the time rankings and last place on the points rankings. And so his goal for Caverns was to get 252. He needed 252. Yeah. And so this run, it was 2 minutes in. He wanted to be the best worst player. That's well put. He has half a bar left. He may pass away. He has to wait at the end. He has to wait until 252 and jump in the lift. He can't get 253, 254, 255. He wants 252. Otherwise, he'll have to play again until he gets 252. He's waiting around. And it's hard because you have to, like, figure out exactly... You have to time the level yourself. Let's see what happens here. He's waiting, he's waiting. Right when he starts firing, trying to... He has no health. He has no ammo. He needs 252.
Dude, I've been recording for 5 minutes. Come on. Come on. Ah! Cut the end timing. Damn it. Whatever. Whatever. Is it still the record, though?
He blew it. He would... Yeah, it's just so absurd. And on this video, we can see, I posted, this is going in SpeedLore someday, a year ago. So, there it is. There it is. Well, so the idea was, he wanted to do it without ever having collected points. He would end up failing only because, on 2 different occasions, people had scores removed, which gave him 1 point. That happened twice. Like, honestly, this whole journey by Samo is one of those things where, like, one day I would love to explore it in a video, but it's like, it's way too niche and esoteric for, like, my main channel. It's something that, like, only, like, a few thousand people could even begin to understand, you know? But it would be worth exploring someday. Yeah, here's his times page when he eventually did it. He was 72nd in overall time rankings, 305th in points, 0. And he had Caverns 00234, so what ended up happening was, instead of going for 252, he let a few weeks pass, new players came along, got Caverns 00 times, and then he needed 234 to get the... I don't know why it's called a PTR. A pointless time ranking? That might be it. Pointless time ranking. Get your record score without 8 points. What's he ranked now? Now he's 50th in time. 50th on the time rank. He's come a long way. And he's 69th on the points rankings. Not a meme. So there you go. It's just so absurd seeing him wait around at the end. You know, it's like, I remember watching and be like, whoa, this is a decent run. He might get like 30 points on this run. and then he just goes and waits at the end for like 40 seconds. Funny, funny stuff. There we go. There's our homage to Samo. A couple interesting things I'll bring up. This is a tool. This is a speedrun. It's like a 140 or something, 141. But he uses a strat that's been theorized for 15 years, but never pulled off. The A from above strat. I think, maybe. Yeah, so throw the mines down there, the one scientist passes away, a couple shots there, and a mine down there. This would, in theory, prevent you from having to go downstairs and dealing with the Objective A area down there, but it's like, no setup has been discovered for it on console. And it may only save like 1 or 2 seconds anyways. And it's super, super difficult. But it's at least theoretically out there. Here's someone actually pulling it off on console in 2008, but all the scientists perish. And so that's unacceptable. We need to find a way to make it so only one scientist perishes. We can save one upstairs. But if there's 5 total, 1 in the radar room will die. It's tough. Maybe one day someone will solve it, but as far as I know, no one has the secret yet. But it's theoretically out there, and I'll be honest, no spoiler alert. No one's discovered how to do it yet. This video is interesting. It's simply titled Rainbow Explosion. Let's take a look at this. This is a Joris run. The level gets so laggy that the explosion is like a sparkly rainbow. Alright? Sparkly rainbow, and it's, of course, of all people, the sort of, Aaron Famalama Ding Dong shares his rainbow comment, very sweet, and yeah, just a funny little extra thing. Alright, so through all this chaos, Caverns 00130 is still untied. This is 2.x master Gus Riolo. He's going to play 2.x. Let's see what he can get. Opens the door early. Runs through. Gets a nice boost. I mean, are we trying to lure boosts now on Caverns 00? Is this where we've come? It went from like praying guards won't hit you to live the 1 in 1,000 run to like, oh, we have so much body armor we can now lure guards to boost us forward and save 0.3 on one of the most complex levels in the game. And yes, that is indeed where we've come. Nice shot. A back boost. Ooh, that hurts, man. 2 back boosts. That's a lot of time lost. That's like almost a second right there. Well, the thing is, Kitaru, no one had shown a video of... There weren't very many Japanese GoldenEye runners in the first place, and none of them had shown videos of it. And as we saw earlier, Taka didn't pick up the body armor because he felt too bad to use it at first. Body armor. Objective D. Objective C. Let's see. Oh, 3 back boost ending! Beautiful warp, though. Caverns 00131 with 5 back boosts. 5 back boosts. You can see the verified Carl Jops channel says go for lower. You know, it's kind of funny because Carl kind of has certainly a rivalry with Wotus, we'll say. I mean, at this point, Carl, he kind of has a rivalry with many leaders, but certainly Wotus. And so he wanted to see Wotus's 130 get tied. And there he is encouraging Riolo to go for lower. Riolo would. Let's watch this run. Let's watch this run. Would Carl's encouragement be enough to keep Riolo going? And you could barely hear the fade-out slap on that Riolo run. It was pretty epic. You can do things like slap in the beginning and ending of the cutscenes with 2.x. He gets the 30 the assault rifle boost again. He misses the body armor. Riolo has missed the body armor and he missed the shot in the scientist. So now 2 scientists have perished. If one more scientist perishes, he will fail Objective E. And I mean, he missed the body armor. This run is pretty much over anyways. This run is toast. We had the spiral boost as well. Pretty insane. Pretty insane. Chucks the mine. Down to 3.5 bars. 2.5 bars. I mean, remember the comments on, like, Clemens' 135 about throwing the mine. And, like, it wouldn't be survivable. He gets the second body armor, which allows him to survive this run. Oh my god. Yeah, now he would have he'd have half a bar, he would have died right there. But it is impressive that Riolo lived a run. Dude, that is painful. That is, like, legit painful. He almost skipped to 129 and failed the scientists. Like, literally. Because that scientist right there didn't move, he wasn't alerted, the run failed. And 129, and Riolo says he was 90% sure it would have been 128 with a good warp at the end. Yeah. I mean, it's uncommon. Back in the day, it used to happen all the time. You would fail an untied pace run. It was like par for the course. But I mean, nowadays it happens less and less frequently. Oh man. Imagine both scientists left. Did one of them leave at least? No, they're both in there. They're both deep in there. So 4 of them. If somehow they both escaped, it would have been a miracle run, 129. And alas, Wotus's 130 remained untied. Now, this is where trickery and tomfoolery comes into play, okay? Some will remember something that happened in June 2019. In June 2019, I achieved and hoarded Streets 00154. What an amazing run that was. Dude, this section is too insane. But this isn't Street SpeedLore. But it does have an impact. Because I achieved the 154, I was like, what should I do at this time? And what I wanted to have happen is, because Wotus's 130 was a little bit older than the 154, I wanted the 154 to seem like it was the longest standing untied. So that when I revealed that I had tied it, it was even more epic. It was the most epic as possible. So I thought to myself, what sort of trickery can I do from behind the scenes here? Can I convince Clemens or Ace to go for Caverns 130 and tie Wotus's run? I mean, Caverns 130, it's a great run, for sure. We're seeing that Riolo failed 129. I think at least some part of it was that, you know, the guys respected Wotus, and they didn't want to slay his untied. You know, they wanted to help out their buddy get a long-standing untied. I think that's a testament to Wotus's character and his the friends he's made in the community. people didn't want to, you know, if I have an untied, or Clemens has an untied, people are like, oh, I'm going to tie it, I'm going to, you know, forget this guy. But Wotus, people didn't want to go for it. I think that's at least partly why. But I was finally able to convince Clemens to go for Caverns 00. This is like the first night of Clemens playing Caverns 00. Within like the first 20 minutes of him playing.
Stay strat. I think it's. Alright. I'm gonna take Mark's advice and go for the fast A strat. I think it's better because you don't get screwed by that guard as often. Like, look how fast that is. Yeah, this strat's sick, dude. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it, man. This strat's sick, man. I have a really good strat down for that. Okay. We're good. Yeah, this strat's good. I'm using it. That was so fast. There's actually way less RNG with it, I think. Because that guard doesn't have time to, like, with you, you know? Let's go! Come on! Yes! Holy sh**! Did I just cake it, dude? Did I just cake it, dude? What a man! I thought that might be 130, man.
I'm surprised it wasn't 130. I mean, that was a really good run. The only thing I can see it being not 130 is because he gets two back boosts here. And he has kind of a wobbly entry to the perpendicular hull. There's one back boost, two back boosts, and then it throws him off. He's kind of wobbly there. That's my best guess as to why it wasn't 130. But like other than that, it should have been 130. And so, given that Clemens got this run 20 minutes in, he thought, like, I'm going to cake 130 or 129 or even 128. Little did Clemens know that he was about to open Pandora's box of pain and hell and treachery over the next several weeks. I have about 8 clips of Clemens' stream here. Let's watch him and see what happens. This one says perfect objective B area.
Wow. No! What the f***, man?
So what was so amazing with that objective B area was, like, because he got hit by the guard on the left, it was at the perfect time. Mine throw, like, he has only 17 bullets, so he's going for even less bullets. Okay, so he shoots 12 there, he has 5 left for that, and he hits it with his first 3, and because that guard hit him, it, like, freezes him in place for a second, which normally you don't want, but it prevents him from like, walking into the room even more, and so now he's leaving, like, as soon as he possibly can, and going up the stairs. It's like, you couldn't draw it up any better. Like, you could get 128 with this B area, maybe 127. But guards would troll him afterwards. He would get stuck on the guard. The run didn't pan out. This one's called Cavs Troll at its Finest. Let's see what happens.
Oh my god, that was so troll!
So in that case, the guard hit him before he could finish, before the third shot hit that objective B area. And so he couldn't land the shots. That's just bad luck. Another thing that can happen, and like we won't see it tonight, is that these two middle consoles, sometimes you'll play this perfectly, and only one, you can see it in the frame, that console's actually two consoles side by side, and only the one on the left is on fire right now, and sometimes it won't blow up the one on the right. It's kind of like a coin flip thing. It might not be exactly 50-50, but like that happens. You'll have a perfect B area, and like that console will fail. And it's like, what the heck are you gonna do? Okay, this is insane run. This was the next day after his 131. This is July 13. Mine.
No!
Barely missed it.
No! Man.
Barely missed it.
One bullet.
You're probably like less than 20 minutes left in this episode. Oh my god,
No, dude! No!
Perfect
no!
run.
No!
Oh.
Fucking stick a fork in me, dude. Stick a fucking fork in me. Stick a fucking fork in me. Oh, oh my god.
129B failed. Let's see how many shots he hit in that main frame. He might have literally been one shot off 129. Yeah, he was. He was literally one bullet off 129 untied. Very good run goes wrong. We're now a week later, so things are kind of deteriorating, we'll say. That was, see, look how, that was beautiful, man. That was insane. Oh my god, boosts to the end. This is nuts. But the thing is, it's almost like he got too many boosts. Now those guards are in the way. Oh my god. Yeah, like 4 back boosts.
No!
5 back boosts. 6 back boosts. You know, I wish there were runs like this to show earlier on, so you could have got the point of how tough Caverns 00 is. That is Caverns 00 in a nutshell. We're now July 21. Here's another 129 objective B failed. Yeah, that would have been a better name for that stream clip. The Cavs 00 experience. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute, Karma. Oh! He missed like one shot in the middle mainframe now. 2 back boosts even! Oh my god, dude. This is like so nuts. Hits the shot, hits the BA, almost gets stuck, plays it like only Clem and other top players can.
Oh my god.
Like a boost and a back boost. But he had 2 backs after B, which is terrible. Let's see this. How many did he hit in the middle console? It might have only been 1, but like still. Well, it was 1 or 2. It was 1 or 2. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, this one is cool. This can happen. So on that first 129 fail, this could have happened. He's gonna miss the left console, but a guard.
What?
It completes.
What?
Because guards shot down the stairs, missed Clem, but hit the console. that can happen, and that could have happened on his 129 fail. This one is called Comma. I don't know what this will be about.
The bigger issue is just not getting screwed with guards and stuff.
Wow.
Like that. No! Are you God? You gotta be kidding me!
Oh, and it completes. Oh my god, it completed. He had given up and it completed. You can see how this is August 6th. Okay, August 6th. He's been on this level for a long time. He was on level for so long, in fact, that someone went ahead and made this video. David Clemens Chair Squeak compilation.
Oh! Damn it, dude! That was an insane run and I got screwed. Nice. Yeah, I'm still up in, dude, I need to bring a band-aid for whatever reason. Would be kind of fun, though. I did. Oh. Guards are, like, literally blocking. I think I put, like, all my mental energy into that on scientist side. That's why I hate them. Pretty remarkable, honestly.
Apparently, the guy who made this planned on doing, like, a month-long compilation, but because one nights of streaming gave him 9 minutes, he said, it was all from a single session. He just said, okay, that's enough. That's enough. One session is enough. Now, Clemens's pain would be for nothing. Why? You know, certainly Clemens almost got the Untied. You know, July 14, 13. Clemens fared well. But, look, he didn't get it immediately. And so, as a result, someone else said, Clemens has been struggling for 3 days? Not on my watch. I'll put an end to this madness. And so along came Perfect Ace. And literally 3 days after Clemens's, seemed like Clemens was going to cake 130 or 129, Perfect Ace went out and got this run, the final run of the night. A run so remarkable, it's dedicated to our SpeedLore champion, Riley P. Thank you for supporting SpeedLore on Patreon, Riley. Let's marvel at the run that eluded Clemens despite many close calls. Perfect Aces, Caverns 00. Beautiful mine, all left strafe, body armor, 3 quick ones, beautiful mine. He can save his 3 mines for later. Yeah, not even using, neither Clem nor Ace used 2.x. Oh, dude, that is just vile. He lures guards onto the spiral, something we haven't seen in 10 years of runs. And he just casually headshots one for his AR-33 ammo. Like it's no big deal. It's like... Are you joking? The middle console's already blown up. I'm actually surprised this isn't one... This isn't even lower than it is. He's hiding behind the scientist to not get back boosted. Okay. 2 backs there. Oh, a tiny stuck. Those 2 backs might have been it. But it's still Caverns 00129. Untied world record. Truly remarkable speedrun. It is what it is. that's how it stands now. Perfect Ace, 129. Joris, Rutsu, Luke, Gus, 131. You know, I got a 132 in that time, too. And, yeah, because I started to, like, could I get 130? Could I tie the 130 and then make the Epic Streets 154 thing? But obviously Clements and Ace were much more quick to do that than me. Yeah, so this is what happened with Clemens' run. Is because Clemens caked the 131 so quickly, he didn't even bother to make a video of it or post it. The video is on Whoozy's channel. So Clemens was like, forget this 131, I'm going to eventually get 130 or 129. And didn't even bother to post his 131 or make a video of it. You know, by August, we had actually thought that he had lost the video. We didn't know that Whoozy had the secret video. Luckily he did. Maybe this lore will inspire Clemens to post that 131 eventually. But honestly, probably not. Probably not. And that's the bizarre story of why Clemens' 131 is on the rankings. Only his 132 from 2011, that original Untied. Oh, he never linked the vid. That's right. Because we didn't know that Whoozy had the vid yet. That's right. Maybe it'll get posted again. Who knows? But that's where we stack up now. I mean, look. 130 was a solid record. That stood for a long time Untied. You know, I'll pull up the current longest standing Untieds as well now. 129 is an even solider record. Like, that's the thing. Like, 130, I feel like I could get 130. A lot of guys could probably get 130 with a grind. But 129 is like that extra step that, like, man, maybe that's going to be tough to get, you know? I mean, we've kind of come full circle now. The longest standing Untied is Luke Pettit's Frigate Secret Agent. That was episode 1. So, there we go. And 1,164 days. Not that long, all things considered. Some records, you know, that's, you know, 1,100 days. That seems to be all people are getting in this day and age. It's hard to make a run to the top 10, you know, 1,500 days. Who knows what the next time to be that will get it. But yeah, there's it as it stands. 129 Untied. Certainly Clemens, Riolo, I'm sure Wotus, these guys could all get 129 if they chose to. We'll see if people will go for it. And, you know, it's hard to say what's possible on the level. You know, usually I show a tool-assisted speedrun. I don't think any tool-assisted speedrun exists of Caverns 00 outside of, like, the entire full game run tool-assisted speedrun. So it's hard to figure out exactly what the time is. Let me see what the heck we can find here. Let's see if we can pull this up. So the time on Caverns is supposed to be 1:19. We'll give it a quick little view. It won't tell us much because it's just going to be outlandishly insane. Here we go. And then that's it for the night. That's it for the stream. So he's luring a boost, yep. 1 mile. Oh, so he stays up. So, yeah, so he lures the 2 scientists out from there. That's not feasible. So how much time does staying up upstairs with tool-assisted strategy save? Who knows? Could be 5 seconds. You know, maybe it's only 2 or 3, but, like, who knows, right? And then I'm sure Objective B is just going to be complete tomfoolery. I mean, it's a tool-assisted speedrun. I think he goes so fast at the end, he gets like 4 boosts in a row. So he goes like so fast, it's just incredulous. Okay, gets a box boost. I mean, the box boost could be incorporated into 00 Agent now. But it saves 0.3, not a full second. Picks up, oh, that's a strat Clem was trying. to pick up the keycard from the other side of those two boxes, which is like pure luck. Like, you have to hope that the trajectory the card lands is towards you. Both scientists are lured out. Okay, how lovely that is. And now he gets like 4 boosts in a row. Like, chains these boosts. Okay, it was only 2. And, yeah. Alright. And the thing with the tool-assisted speedruns is you can't even see the frame of the end screen. That's why it's like how convenient. You can't even, you know, great. But yeah, that's the stream. 129, a very solid Untied. Clem and Riola have come close. 130, a very nice time by Wotus. His first Untied, he's very proud of that. And a worthy record. And a whole bunch of folks with 131, 132. And we'll see what happens in the future. Oh yeah, I'll debunk that acid pirate. I showed it on stream a while ago, just before we leave. But the game, like, if you could, we would have done it, right? That's the simple answer. But the game doesn't track Bond's height. So what they did is they programmed the door. If you know, if this is the door, they programmed it so when the door's open enough, and the game decides when is enough, then it allows like the portal where Bond can go through it. And so it's like, if like, okay, let's top of my hair's the door, like there, then it's like, okay, now Bond can go through it. And so crouching doesn't affect it because Bond doesn't have a height programmed into the game. That's why you can't crouch through. So there you go. Go watch, if you want to learn to get into GoldenEye speedrunning, the Madman Fletcher, who's been so great with his early videos learning how to play, has made this whole 10-part series on getting into GoldenEye speedrunning. Check that out if you want to get into GoldenEye speedrunning, want to learn how to do it. Great guide. I'll link it in the description of this SpeedLore episode. Awesome stuff by the Madman Fletcher. And there we go. So there, my friends, is the true untold story of Caverns Double Agent and all the insane records and speedruns performed on the stage. A huge thanks to the Patreon legends for supporting the series on Patreon. I hope you're all doing well, and I appreciate your continued support. We will be back soon. You know, I just built a new PC. It's behind me on the desk back there. It's a pretty good upgrade. So this will likely be the last SpeedLore performed from this PC, one that served me very well through the first 31 episodes of SpeedLore. But I'll want to test that one first with some sort of bonus SpeedLore episode to make sure it runs smoothly, so expect that in the coming weeks. A big thanks to everyone for watching, chatting, leaving nice comments, lurking. Truly everyone. Stay true, my friends, and I'll see you in the next stream or video. Good night.